It's a hockey night in Pittsburgh.
And I'll meet you in the schoolyard, baby, for all the marbles.
Loose change and I can't buy a thing. I'm like a songbird.
Thank you for calling Penny, PA's health insurance marketplace. How can I help you?
I need help paying my health insurance premiums.
You came to the right place. Penny gets you the lowest costs on high-quality plans.
Enroll now at penny.com. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Do you have a favorite leather couch or chair that's damaged? Has your car, boat, or RV's interior seen better days? Maybe your business's furniture or your private aircraft's interior could use a little love. You're probably thinking replacement is going to be expensive. And what happens to the damaged piece after you throw it out? Does it just end up in a landfill? It doesn't have to. FiberNew specializes in the restoration of leather, plastic, and vinyl. To get an estimate, connect with us today.
Gonna get out, pretty baby. Gonna get out of this rocking chair.
Cross ice, and it comes back to Lucas Blows. Hey, rookie, welcome to the show, the Penguins Cup Championship show, the Penguins Cup playoff show, and the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars putting on a show.
Tell the boys and girls I just don't care.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Get ready, Pittsburgh! Experience a night out on the town and the thrill of live music. Trusky Entertainment brings you the hottest concerts and unforgettable events right here in the Steel City. Visit TruskyEntertainment.com to grab your tickets today and don't miss out on the best live music in Pittsburgh.
Look at him, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, climbing his way through the corporate rat race. We've all been there, focused on that next raise, promotion, chocolate bar. Keeping an eye on your health can be exhausting. Weight Loss Direct is a personalized wellness and weight loss program. We utilize an AI algorithm to determine your specific foods and match you with a real-life coach and an easy-to-follow meal plan so you could stay on track to success and health. Check out weightlossdirect.com to learn more.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Thank you for calling Penny, PA's official health insurance marketplace. How can I help?
Would preventative care and screenings be an option?
You came to the right place. Penny gets you the lowest cost on high-quality plans.
Enroll now at penny.com. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
What a wonderful day!
Welcome to Temple Strength and Sport Performance, where we empower you to reach new heights in strength, speed, and athletic performance. Temple is here to support you every step of the way. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned athlete, join him in Jefferson Hills, Pennsylvania, and discover the difference. For more information, call 412-527-1755. Start your journey with us today.
2 jumbo ice.
And it's a hockey night in Pittsburgh.
And I'll meet you in the schoolyard, baby, for all the marbles.
Loose change and I can't buy a thing. I'm like a
It's a state championship hockey night in Pittsburgh tonight from the RMU Island Sports Center inside the Clearview Arena here in Neville Township, Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League, in cooperation with the Atlantic Prep Athletic Conference, presents the 2025 Class 3A Pennsylvania Cup, presented by Drusky Entertainment, between the Penguins Cup champion Seneca Valley Raiders and the Flyers Cup champion Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds. Hello, good evening, and welcome. Matt Popchock back again here on the island with former PIHL coach and erstwhile state champion coach Kevin Zielmanski. And this is the nightcap, the final game of the Pennsylvania Interscholastic season for 2024-2025. It's been an exciting day of hockey, all in all. And the first time we crossed paths, Kevin Zielmanski, we saw the Class A game between two teams that were all about offense. This one's a little different. Both these teams defend very well. Both these teams have excellent goaltending as well. And that's why they're here, and that's why we're up here talking about both of them.
Yeah, Matt, getting a little intel on Holy Ghost from the director of Hops, Gump Whiteside, who I used to coach against when I was at Central and at Canavan. I think both of these teams have a very similar profile to what you're talking about. In goal for Seneca Valley is Christopher Nichols. He's got a 15-2 record. He's faced 401 shots. He's made 376 saves, allowing 25 goals for a pretty stellar 1.37 goals against average and a 93.8 save percentage with 3 shutouts. And at the other side, you have Jack Unger. He's got over 700 minutes, 707. He's made 319 saves. He has a goals against average of 1.8, 4 shutouts. He's 11-2-1 on the season. From what I could tell, they play an extensive schedule. That's mostly the Atlantic Prep stats that I was able to find. But I think the profile of these teams is both great goaltending, cautious and tight defense, and look for their opportunities offensively. And that recipe in the Penguin Cup manifested itself in a 3 overtime game for Seneca Valley.
Yes, it did. The Raiders entered the playoffs as the #1 seed for the first time in their history after just barely missing out on the #1 seed the previous year. They have won 4 overtime games in all in PIHL play this season, 2 of which, to your point, Kevin, happened in the Penguins Cup playoffs. First, the semifinal game here on the island where Carter Hone called game, if you will, against Upper St. Clair, and then the longest Penguins Cup final game in Class 3A history in the PIHL era, punctuated by Marshall Hewitt, number 33, his second goal of that game to give the Raiders their second Penguins Cup title in team history.
Both goals scored from similar spots in the offensive zone. The first one in overtime by Carter Home was a point shot right here to our right, and Hewitt circled back to the top of the slot, really maybe a couple strides in from the point, and he buried it from sometimes what we refer to as the ladies' tees coming in from the point. And, you know, we talked about that day. I was ready for a moment to interject that Hewitt looked like he had a little jump, and we were looking for someone to have jump to end that game because it was dragging on, and both teams seemed to be exhausted, Seneca Valley and South Fayette. Now, both teams #1 seeds coming into this. Holy Ghost finished their APAC standing 6-2, tied with LaSalle. And LaSalle is a team they kept running into over and over. In the APAC playoffs, they beat Malvern 4-1, and LaSalle 6-4 to win the championship. LaSalle outshot them 36-32. Unger made 32 saves. Brian Kinnery had 2 goals and an assist. Brady Logue, 2 goals. He's a Merrimack commit, and he's on his way to the British Columbia Hockey League next season. Joseph Kaufman with a goal and Colin Barrow with a goal. And into the Flyers Cup, again, the Firebirds were the #1 seed. They defeated Owen Roberts 10-0. Defeated, I'm a little trouble with this one. It looks like How do you say this name? It's
Where I come from, I understand that they simply call them the Sallies in that part of the state,
Okay.
and we'll leave it at that.
The Sallies, 5-2 in the semis. I practiced that one, but when the pressure's on, I failed. And then they defeated LaSalle 3-1 in the championship game. They were, again, LaSalle outshot them in the championship game. Chase Logue had 2 for the Firebirds, and Joseph Kaufman scored an unassisted shorthanded goal, under 29 saves on 30 shots.
Well, I'm going to be a good line mate and try and pick you up as best I can when you're having a down moment. We can always count on Austin McLean on Public Address to pick us up with his infectious energy. He'll be introducing both of these teams momentarily. The Logue brothers, Brady and Chase together, combined for 15 points, by the way, in the Flyers Cup Class 3A tournament. They've both played very well in the postseason.
I'm going to try it again. I think it's Celestianum. I'm going to go with that. That's the way it phonetically appears to me. If I'm wrong, we're just going to be the Sallies. That's the last time we have to mention them. Anyway, this one appears to be fit the profile of a low-scoring, tight-checking game. Having said that, it'd probably end up 8-7 for all we know.
But if it does come to fruition, it's a good thing for the Raiders historically. We'll see how it shakes out.
AAA state championship game between the visiting Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds and the Seneca Valley Raiders. Introducing the away team, the Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds. Number 0, Matthew Salita. Number 1, John Buttock. Number 4, Joseph Kaufman. Number 6, Sean Devine. Number 8, Kate Romer. Number 10, Michael Trivitera. Number 11, Trace Levin. Number 14, John Gavon. Number 15, Ryan Harmer. Number 17, Felix Hofnagel. Number 19, Brian Henry. Number 21, Jackson Foster. Number 23, Chris Marshall. Number 24, Lucas Gonzalez. Number 25, John Graff. Number 26, Santino Tiberio. Number 28, Joseph Spatacino. Number 29, Jake Sparrow. Number 33, Ryan Libby. Number 39, Brady Lowe. Number 44, Brandon Watkins. Number 54, Lucas Helms. Number 57, Patrick Ozza. Number 64, Logan Barnes. Number 71, Jack Unger. Number 86, Daquan Haynes. Number 88, Anthony Baliassi. Number 91, Colin Vera. Number 92, Chase Lowe. Number 95, Brady Quinn. Head coach for the Firebirds, John Ritchie. Assistant coaches, George Mundy, Alex Taylor, and Tim Wade. That is the Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds. And now, introducing the Seneca Valley Raiders. Number 3, Jameson Hall. Austin. Number 20, John Niwashi. Number 21, Jimmy Murtha. Number 24, Tyler Maxwell. Number 26, Wayne Morrow. Number 28, Andrew Malicki. Number 29, Carter Holmes. Number 33, Marshall Hewitt. Number 35, Matthew Gilchrist. Number 40, Christopher Nichols. Number 42, Ethan Frick. Number 53, CJ Warren. Number 57, Luke Myers. Number 59, John Soroka. Number 63, Matthew Bailey. Number 76, Cooper Owen. Number 77, Tyler Garman. Number 89, Nate Munchell. Number 91, Owen Martin. And number 92, Lindsay Valava. The head coach for the Raiders is Tyler Masiska. Assistant coaches, Parker Fakes, Tim Jones, and goalie coach, Mike Netza. That is the Seneca Valley Raiders. Tonight's linesmen are Austin March and Nolan Earl. Tonight's referees, Garrett Gadosh and Todd Hendry. And tonight's goaltenders are Max Ricard and Joe Boyer. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for your 2025 AAA Pennsylvania State Finalists. At this time, we ask you to please rise as you are able to remove your hats and direct your attention to the flags beside the scoreboard. You're playing our national anthem. So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets
The Firebirds, coached by John Ritchie. Not to be confused with the Florida Junior Panthers by the naked eye, will be lining up opposite a Seneca Valley squad coached by Tyler Masiska of their class of 2010, who finally got that elusive Penguins Cup ring. And I know that you know what that's like to finally get one as a coach, and they will be wearing the same white uniforms they have worn throughout these playoffs as the higher seed, and in today's case, the host team.
Yeah, both with the stripe across the chest and the circle logo in front. I like the Firebirds. I like that Panthers red, and as long as the numbers contrast, we're happy, right? I mean,
absolutely.
I had a hard time in the 1A game with those numbers for Garnet Valley, so good on you. You were on top of some of those, but I had a hard time deciphering them. Maroon on black is not a good look for numbers. You got to have the light and dark contrast if you're out there and you're ever buying jerseys.
My all-encompassing policy on new uniforms whenever a program rolls them out is if working media can't read them from distance, they're no good.
Yes, get a mock-up and then have someone wear it on the ice and go up as high as you can to see if you can see them.
John Soroka, 3 goals in the Penguins Cup playoffs, pushes the opening faceoff on goal for the Raiders, who attack from right to left on your TV, computer, or mobile device to begin the Class 3A PA Cup. Coming across the line for the Firebirds is the Merrimack commit, Brady Logue. He'll be a member of their freshman class of 2027, barring unforeseen developments. Lead pass into the Firebird zone. Hewitt settles it down. It's put on goal eventually by the Raiders' Bailey. Correction, C.J. Gwarek with a follow-up, and it's covered by Unger.
All right, I got a good look at Logue there on that first rush. It was a good job to reverse it behind the net, and Logue had come around that left wing side, and he supported it well, and he was off in a flash through the neutral zone, Matt. That's going to be something the Raiders' back line is going to have to worry about, that speed coming through the neutral zone. He's going to push them back and create a cushion.
Andrew Malichki lost the ensuing faceoff for the Raiders, and I remember he was snake bit in that Penguins Cup final game. Stopped on an early penalty shot by Jackson Ankrum, and lots of grade A chances, but just couldn't convert, including 1 or 2 in the multiple overtimes of that game. To the point for Ryan Lippy. Cross ice it goes to Nathan Romer. Good block there. Tyler Garvin, the erstwhile PIHL All-Star, limping a bit after taking one for the team. Outlet pass cut off by Gwarek. And the Spring Hill, Tennessee native watches this puck played in behind the Raiders' goal by Chris Nichols. Nichols has been red hot, not just in the playoffs, but since the holiday break for the Seneca Valley Raiders. We'll get to that in a bit. Chipped in behind the Holy Ghost goal and played back towards center by Colin Barra off a Seneca Valley stick. Retreating defensively is Matt Bailey, who's quietly played well on the blue line in the postseason, has had some big assists from that blue line for Seneca Valley on some pretty important goals. Gwarek from his own corner hesitated, then goes near side. Owen Martin, who had the winning goal in round 1, tried to advance it beyond the Holy Ghost blue line. Nothing doing. Kinnery puts it off the body of Nichols. Tested for the first time tonight. Raiders at center. Nikolaski over the attacking line, 1 against the world, and from 45 feet, that's an easy save for Unger. Tyler Maxwell regrouping with Carter Hone. His overtime goal in the semifinals puts Seneca Valley in the championship game of the PIHL as the Raiders come in offside.
So initial thoughts of seeing Holy Ghost come through their lines is their team speed. So Seneca Valley is going to have to be real cautious of that. They're going to have to move the puck, try to get Holy Ghost to chase. So that means you got to communicate, like right there. Hone just did the beaver tap to call for that pass. It's going to be important for Seneca Valley to try to move the puck faster than the skaters and keep the Firebirds 1 step behind the puck movement.
In between the circles, Logue playing it deep in his own zone. Brady, that is. His brother Chase, also a regular in John Ritchie's lineup. Spadacino behind the Raider goal. Out in front, went by everybody. Backed up by Lippy. Lippy from the bottom of the circle, firing wide of the goal mouth. Holy Ghost on the rebound, plays it in behind the Raider net. And Seneca Valley Murphy dumps this puck to center. Soroka on that off wing. He can score from that off wing, but he won't get a chance this time. He was stood up neatly by Spadacino. Lead pass for Logue as it's put wide of goal. That caught the pipe, I think, and it might have caught a piece of Nichols as well. We didn't hear the clang, but it took a rather sharp bounce as it's redirected just wide by Riffy.
Pace, Matt. This has got pace.
When we said Seneca Valley was a defensive team, that was not to say, let's just sit back and park the bus in front of Nichols. This team can skate too. Make no mistake about that. And you said it, pace, the name of the game. Nichols from behind his own net. Outlet at the center for Ryan Campbell. Campbell with a nice maneuver. But a good poke check there by Brady Flynn and company. Raiders have to reset. They have to complete a line change as well as Joe Kaufman brings it over the attacking line. His empty netter, Kaufman's that is, sealed the Flyers Cup championship for the Firebirds, the 4th in their history. Their last and only state championship was a decade ago. Seneca Valley won their only Penguins Cup in 2018, then ran into another team from the APAC, St. Joseph's Prep. Their next state championship, which could come tonight, would be their first.
They lost that game 4-0 to St. Joe's Prep back in 2018.
Anthony Rako, the coach of that Seneca Valley team, now coaching at Central Catholic, where Mr. Zielmanski worked once upon a time.
I still have my diploma from there. That's still good. Even though they ran me out, I'm still an alum.
How could they run you out of all people?
They did, Matt. It's off-air story.
Played back to the Firebirds bench. Oh, what do you think? You've heard it all. The Raiders near side for Cooper Owen. Cooper, a freshman on this year's Raiders squad, bumped in the corner by Tiberio. And the Firebirds gradually bring it back to center. Logue with room to maneuver, makes his move. Logue to the goal, makes his move on Nichols, but Nichols got that left toe out there to keep Holy Ghost off the board. Lippy from distance. That was deflected wide by Martin. Nikolaski on the rebound defensively for Seneca Valley. Lippy from center. Cross ice for Romer. Quick dump in by the Firebirds. Both teams making changes on the fly. 6 minutes into a scoreless first. Outlet pass intercepted at center by Gavahan. Gavahan trying to center it. Nice easy read there by Bailey. Quick counter by the Raiders. They come with speed. Soroka from an angle. And that save made by Unger.
Well, that was a good one-on-one matchup. We saw Logue against Nichols right there. Just coming across the blue line, that defenseman was not in proper position. He kind of turned that shoulder towards the stands, and Logue recognized it and skated right around his backside and in on Nichols, who flashed out that pad against the post and made the save. They're not going to survive if they let Logue get the wheels going. Going to have to shut him down early.
Played off of Unger into a dangerous spot, but right there on the puck defensively was Chase Logue. And the other Logue brother crosses the attacking line momentarily before being forced to retreat back to center red. Kaufman, the alternate captain of Holy Ghost, dumps it in off the glass. Chase Logue giving chase, trying to find Gavahan. Gavahan working below the circle, bumped off the puck quickly. And the Raiders force the issue back to center. Chance possibly for Hewitt. Hewitt on goal, makes his move, can't shoot it cleanly. Kaufman with some serious hustle to get back and interrupt the alternate captain.
Excellent burst. I thought that puck was on edge. He could have maybe used it to elevate it.
That one settled down by Unger, and he will earn the whistle. Jack Unger, second among all Flyers Cup goalies in all three boys classifications with his .948 save percentage in said tournament, averaging around 23 saves per game this season in all competitions for the Firebirds. Holy Ghost with a clean face-off win in their own zone. Back to center it comes beyond Kinnery. Ditto Lucas Gonzalez. The Raiders outlet it near side for Ethan Riffey. Riffey above the left circle. Score! Give the governor harumph! Ethan Riffey blasts it by Unger, and Seneca Valley takes the 1-0 lead with 9.5 left in period one.
First goal of the playoffs, 6th of the season. And when we run this back, Matt, I want you to see the puck movement side to side. When you have a fast team that chases, you could create space. They won the neutral zone faceoff, and they went to the bench side, back to the stand side, and Riffey came across, and it looked like a pretty innocent shot, like he was going to try to generate a rebound, but he whistled it past the ear of the goaltender, Unger, right there for the first goal of the game. Raiders lead 1-0.
And it's ironic, Kevin, because Riffy is the guy who's always characterized by his coach as being the hard-nosed, gritty Patrick Hornquist type player. He scores his goals by going to the net, not by shooting them from 30-some-odd feet.
If you see that replay, he one-footed it, very casually threw it to net. He didn't tee it up and transfer the weight. So again, he wasn't looking to beat him, but anything that's well placed, he whistled it right past his ear of Unger, and I think Unger's on a skate right now, and I just saw him gave one of those he's talking to himself. It looks like he's not real happy with himself after that one.
And Seneca Valley, to wit, wants to try and do anything it can to tilt the ice and maybe catch Unger feeling sorry for himself a bit here as the Raiders take the early lead. That shot off the draw is blocked aside by Nichols. Centering pass beyond Lippy, the Holy Ghost captain, and he'll get back on his horse to play this puck in front of Unger. Bailey with a quick dump in, Raiders with a quick tag up. 1-0 Seneca Valley lead. Ethan Riffy, the sophomore, his first of the postseason. Brady Logue dispossessed at the near boards. Raiders play it back to center. Jimmy Murtha couldn't get it beyond Kinnery. Kinnery over the attacking line. Left wing circle following this puck. Firebirds get organized in the offensive zone. Brady Logue, left circle. Logue creating space. Logue waits for the man to go down, shoots it off a body. CJ Gwarek minding the gap, and the Raiders have a 2-on-1. Gwarek brings it over the line to Garvin, but the pass was too slow. Gwarek in no man's land, trapped by Flynn. Raiders working below the circles. Malichki fighting for possession, the Seneca Valley captain and all-star. Malichki would love to get the scoring monkey off his back in this Pennsylvania Cup final. Murtha sends the puck deep. Raiders complete their line change discreetly.
Into the stands? No.
Almost. Someone lost a piece of equipment, possibly a neck guard, and I think it belongs to Maxwell as the Firebirds generate the turnover. Gonzalez working behind the net, but the Raiders stick right with him, Martin had trouble with that puck. Cooper Hone in defensive support. Raiders reverse the play and pay the physical price to do so. Martin trying to get a step on Gonzalez. He comes over the line for Seneca Valley. Centering pass, backhanded wide of goal by Nikolaski. Cooper Hone defers to Chris Marshall of Holy Ghost. Chase Logue applying pressure in the attacking zone. Turnover to Gavinahan. Good save off the blocker by Nichols.
Really good save.
Firebirds send it in behind the Raiders' goal. Seneca Valley supporting this puck back to center ice. Cooper Hone with a dump in. Takes the shot from Valerian as he comes off for another Seneca line change. 6.5 to go in the first period. 1-0 Raiders.
I think it might have been off of Nichols' shaft. I heard kind of that sound when it hits that shaft. So big save.
He's seeing beach balls out there right now. What a playoff he had. Chris Nichols, the Seneca Valley All-Star. 49 saves for Nichols in that epic Penguins Cup final that Kevin and I discussed earlier. Icing on the Raiders.
Yeah, we basically did a triple header that night, the two of us. So we played the 3 regular periods. Then we went into the third overtime. It was scored at 4:21 of the third overtime. Marshall Hewitt for Seneca Valley. They defeated South Fayette. They outshot South Fayette 66-50.
Shot on Nichols again, and Nichols forces another face-off from the same spot. Since the holiday break, Nichols, a 1.0 goals against, a .957 save percentage, and 3 shutouts.
Right there.
Remarkable.
Sorry, Matt. You see Logue go forward. The Seneca Valley centermen are going to need to be cautious of that with Logue, particularly in this circle on his forehand, where he's going to try to tap it forward and step around them for the shot on goal. That time he wins it back.
Firebirds try to get their forecheck going late in the first period. They've got it behind the net. Work to the point now near side for Lippy. Lippy through a crowd, never made it on target. Romer at the half wall keeps it in. Logue's turnaround shot. That never made it on goal from the side of the net. Spadacino couldn't sneak it in. Good cycle there by the Firebirds. Nothing to show for their efforts just yet as players push and shove at the Seneca Valley line. Bailey plays it to the visitors' bench. Raiders forcing Holy Ghost to retreat in front of goaltender Jack Unger, who's directing traffic for the Firebirds. Unger looked like a goalkeeper in soccer back there, pointing and barking out to his teammates. Carter Hone with a dump in. Malichki to the corner for the Raiders. Behind the net, Kaufman defensively. To Kinnery. Kinnery, a point-per-game player this year for Holy Ghost. Outlet pass to Gonzalez. Gonzalez has Kinnery going to the net. Gonzalez keeps it himself. Operating behind the cage now. Kinnery at the side of the net. Nichols forces it out of play.
Another excellent breakout by the Firebirds. A good pass to get out the blue line in their own zone. And then, well, this is already after the fact. When they're crossing the blue line, it's important to pay attention to where the Seneca Valley defensemen are in relation to the forwards when they cross the blue line. That's called the gap control. And when you have speed, you're going to push that D back. That's going to create some space in front of the D for the crisscrosses and the drop passes.
To the corner it comes for Valeriat. Flynn pinching, harassed by Martin, and lost the puck. Holy Ghost has to tag up on a turnover to Nikolaski, but he couldn't turn it to his forehand. Nikolaski recovers and sends it deep into Firebirds territory. Flynn from behind his own net for Valeriat. Colin Weston out here defensively now for Tyler Masiska as this puck is gloved down by Martin but turned over to Valeriat. Weston blasted in the corner by Valeriat. The alternate captain has a lot of weight to throw around, for a player who is not the tallest on the ice by any means. Tiberio through a crowd. Nichols saw that somehow, and he covers somehow above the crease.
Tracked that one very, very well, Matt, because there was a lot of bodies in front of him right there, and Nichols was able to see it. He came aggressively out. He saw it down on the ice, put that glove hand down to cover it. So he's tracking it very well. That's an indication if a goalie's on his game. If they're quickly hopping on those rebounds in front, they have an idea of where things might hit and where they might carry them.
Off the faceoff, Chase Logue forcing the save. The rebound bounces eventually to Hewitt.
We have a penalty upcoming.
And it's going to go against Holy Ghost Prep. The Seneca Valley Raiders are headed to the Penny Power Play. Penny is Pennsylvania's official healthcare marketplace. Visit Penny, PENNIE.com today to see if you qualify for enrollment. Follow them on social media at PennyPA. Raiders trying to add to a 1-0 lead late in the first. Special teams and goaltending, that's usually how these playoff and championship games are decided.
2 minute minor for elbowing. Time and penalty at 3:45. Lowe, 2 minutes elbowing at 3:45.
Seneca 1 for 3 in the postseason on the power play, so not very many opportunities on the man advantage.
In terms of chances generated, they were one of the bottom teams in PIHL 3A during the regular season. Morin scores! Oh, make me a milkshake, Morin! Seneca Valley makes it a 2-0 game on the Penny Power Play as Braden Morin, who led the Raiders with 13 regular season goals, finally gets one in the 2025 playoffs.
Well, when you get a look at this one, Matt, you're going to see how aggressive Holy Ghost was. Brady Logue was chasing that right point man way out there, and they were able to go D to D right there to the trigger man on the left circle, the right shot, and he beat the goaltender Unger right there. I'm not exactly sure where, if he went high again on or what, but that's the second goal of this first period. I think to many people's surprise, it's now 2-0 Seneca Valley.
And he did all that, Kevin, before I could finish my thought. The Raiders didn't draw a lot of power play chances during the season, but when they got them, statistically speaking, they made them count. They were over 30% during the regular year, and they get a big one here to get an extender early on in the state final.
They were 13 of 43 in the regular season, 30.2%.
Firebirds play this puck in behind the Seneca Valley goal. Looks like it hit something on its way there. Gonzalez keeps it inside the line for Holy Ghost before Maxwell forced it back to center. Quick dump in by Tiberio. Firebirds putting Seneca Valley on their defensive heels one more time as Moreau brings it out from deep in his own zone. Kaufman gets it deep again for the Firebirds. This time it's deep enough for icing.
Goal scorer Braden Morin on the power play. Carter Hahn on the assist. John Soroka for Morin is 14th of the season, first of the playoffs.
Officially, that's how the second goal reads. Indeed, the first goal officially, Riffy from Maxwell, in case we didn't get to that earlier. Seneca Valley 2, Holy Ghost nothing in the first period of the Pennsylvania Cup. That puck floats in on Unger, the Firebirds netminder, and he'll hang on.
So we don't get to watch the Firebirds all the time, so I don't know if, Logue is one of the regular penalty killers, but, sometimes you're going to go risky. You're trying to get your best skater, offensive guy out there, and he got a little high in the zone, and that allowed some free ice, and Seneca Valley made them pay. So that's kind of the risk reward and what you're doing on special teams. And that time Seneca Valley won that matchup.
I personally am a proponent of using your best player when you can to kill penalties, which I'll get to in a moment. Centering pass intended for Hewitt broken up. I always wondered why Sidney Crosby wouldn't be out there killing more penalties when he was younger, but I guess that's another discussion for another time.
You're expecting those guys to put their body in front of a lot of shots, and you want to be cautious of any injuries to your best players there. It's going to be a penalty on Gwark for a takedown.
WWE style.
Yeah, he needed to get the lasso and rope him up in time for that one. That was an easy call. Man, I'm a proponent of some of those better players coming out towards the end of the power play, particularly if the power play team doesn't make a change. You can catch them tired. But in a game like this at the end of the year, you want to use your best players for as many minutes as you possibly can.
Well, John Ritchie's going to put his dynamic duo of brothers out there, I would imagine, for this penny power play, the first of the game for Holy Ghost Prep, trying to get back in it late in period one. An obvious holding minor, about as obvious as they get against C.J. Gawarek.
There's no palms up on that one, like what did I do?
He knew it and we knew it. Murtha not able to clear. Kaufman from distance. Deflected wide by Carter Hone. Hone trying to get positioning and almost drew a penalty in the corner. Officials let it slide. Centering pass for Barra. Kaufman and Barra playing pitch and catch. Now it comes to Gonzalez. Gonzalez working in the corner.
All the red jerseys on one half of the ice, Matt. Very unusual setup.
Barra, center point. Back to the alternate captain, Kaufman. Cut out by Maxwell. Around to the near boards with a minute to go in period one. A minute 15 to go in the minor on Gawarek. Hone to the boards, still not out. This is all Firebirds. Kaufman.
Good fake.
Cross ice, shot. Nichols a save. He's got the rebound. And we've got a face-off forthcoming as players get involved after the whistle.
Well, it's a good shot fake. They got two Seneca Valley players to go down. Right there's the shot fake over to Gonzalez. And look at Nichols. Look where he is. He's out of the crease, cutting down the angle. He's not a Picasso, as one goaltending coach told me many years ago. I asked him what that meant. He said he's always in the paint. Right there, Nichols was out of the paint, pushing off, telescoping out to make that save.
Fundamentally sound, Chris Nichols. And, hey, he wasn't a league all-star for nothing, folks. Beyond the line, Raiders spotted the offside even before we did, and the Firebirds will oblige and tag up. They re-enter the zone with Valeria touching that puck, but unable to control it. Raiders get the clear with 50 to go in the penny power play to the Firebirds. Half a minute left in the period. Chase Logue flying up the right wing. Makes his move. Logue from behind the net. Out in front. It goes beyond Nichols. That shot was shanked by Valerian, I believe.
Yes, it was.
Brady Logue, from above the circle. Cross ice for Chase. Chase surveying the play. Tees it up. Shoots off Nichols. And he saw it all the way.
Yes, he did, Matt. Yes, he did. Very casually flashed out that glove that made that save. Nichols, right now, kind of in that zone for Seneca Valley. It's good puck movement by the Firebirds. Some good looks, utilizing the shot fake. Nichols just in position, making the save.
Logue, Chase Logue that is, to Brady Logue. Logue shooting, and that's denied by Nichols. Oh, Brady thought he had a buzzer beater, but Nichols had other ideas. Holy Ghost Prep will have 16 more seconds of power play time with which to work when we come back. The Seneca Valley Raiders will have a 2-0 lead on the Firebirds when we come back with Kevin Zielmanski, Matt Popchock. It's the Class 3A Pennsylvania Cup on TenbandTV and Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by Seneca Advisors.
And it's a hockey night in Pittsburgh.
And I'll meet you in the schoolyard, baby, for all the marbles.
Loose change and I can't buy a thing. I'm like a song.
Thank you for calling Penny, PA's health insurance marketplace. How can I help you?
I need help paying my health insurance premiums.
You came to the right place. Penny gets you the lowest costs on high-quality plans.
Enroll now at penny.com. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Do you have a favorite leather couch or chair that's damaged? Has your car, boat, or RV's interior seen better days? Maybe your business's furniture or your private aircraft's interior could use a little love. You're probably thinking replacement is going to be expensive. And what happens to the damaged piece after you throw it out? Does it just end up in a landfill? It doesn't have to. FiberNew specializes in the restoration of leather, plastic, and vinyl. To get an estimate, connect with us today.
Special teams can decide a close hockey game. The advisors at Seneca Capital are a special team. If your brand new business is booming and you're ready to expand, Seneca Capital can give you the support you need to succeed. Visit them on the web at SenecaCapital.com to learn more, and be sure to follow them on LinkedIn. With Kevin Zielmanski, Matt Popchock on board for the Class 3A Pennsylvania Cup on TenbandTV and Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by Seneca Advisors. First period shots, 14-9 in favor of Holy Ghost Prep. Where it counts, however, it is 2-0 Seneca Valley.
Excellent first period for both teams. A lot of action and some great skating, both ends of the ice, and some good saves by Nichols.
Chris Nichols continuing his springtime brilliance for the Penguins Cup champs, who have killed off the penalty to C.J. Gawarek to begin period 2. Firebirds still possess this puck, and that one just went by Nichols off the stick of Chase Logue. Malichki across two lines for Garvin. Garvin had that pass glance off his stick. Lippy in the corner, pressured by Garvin on the forecheck. Brady Logue out from behind his own cage. Malichki unable to catch him up. Logue, too much speed over the right side. Logue over the line on his backhand, ran out of shooting space. Logue from the right circle. Hits the brakes, fires from an angle. That hits something on its way toward goal. It might have hit his brother, for that matter. And after the friendly fire, we have an icing call against Seneca Valley.
Well, the Raiders got away with one, Matt, when that penalty expired, because the Gawarek did not skate back in the zone immediately. When you're across the ice and not next to the penalty box, usually the player immediately goes into D zone, because that extra time to skate to the bench and come off the bench, the Firebirds almost hit a play at the back post to score a goal while that was happening.
We're back to five-a-side in the meantime, as one of the Raiders went down hard just shy of the visitors' bench. And at the other end, Jack Unger is forced to cover the puck.
Good crowd for the Raiders here. The student section to our right filling up the last section. You had mentioned in the Penguin Cup games how Avonworth drew on their fans for some energy. Seneca fans trying to provide a little energy here today.
I'll never forget the release of energy after Marshall Hewitt's heroics, that's for sure. 4:30 into overtime number 3.
I couldn't even hear your goal call. It was so loud in that place. And I'm right next to you wearing a headset.
And we love to see it and hear it. Great support for high school hockey in the playoffs here in Western PA. And we appreciate the visits from our friends in the East. Gonzalez from the left circle. That centering pass cut off by one of the Raiders. That was Weston with a good gap. Kaufman able to keep it inside the line. It's punched off a hand legally back to center by Cooper Hone. Beyond the line it comes, turnover to Gavahan, but the Firebirds were offside.
Yeah, we welcome the folks out in Philly watching this one on 10 Band. I don't know many of them anymore. I used to know the coaches at Monsignor Bonner that used to come to the tournament at Central all the time. I know Gump, who's here, is the director of hot ops for the Firebirds, and I know Wally from LaSalle, so shout out Wally if you're watching, Coach Wally Muehlbrenner.
Oh, we have some coaching legends in the West. We have some coaching legends in the East as well. Muehlbrenner, one of the winningest coaches in the entire state since high school hockey in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania became a thing. The Seneca Valley student section aforementioned is particularly happy about something. We're not quite sure what, as this puck is played inside Raiders ice by Spadacino. Gavahan knocked off balance. It comes right to Spadacino, who is denied by Nichols right on the ladder's doorstep. Marshall can't keep it inside the line. It's turned over to Bailey. Bailey trying to duck around the check by Spadacino. Good play by Gavahan to put it on net. Warwick from his own corner is content to ice this puck with 3 minutes gone by in period 2.
There's the aforementioned student section, and there was some reason that they got excited. They're all looking in the back, so something happened behind them. Oh, we have the law enforcement and the commissioner having a conversation with somebody, so.
Good conversation, stimulating conversation, I hope. Behind the Seneca Valley goal, wraparound try. Nichols got a piece of that at the far post. Chase Logue run into by Maxwell, lost the puck in the process. Now Maxwell from his own corner, trying to use the glass to his advantage and does to clear the zone. Soroka catches up to that puck, out in front, what a move, score! Marshall! Seneca Valley 3, Firebirds nothing. That was a sick pass to Hewitt, Kevin. My goodness.
Well, it all started to our left where Maxwell had a good hit on a Holy Ghost prep player, and the puck came back to him, and he sent it up the ice right down the near side. Whoever tracked that down, you see the speed right there, and then Hewitt catches it, turns it over to the backhand, and puts it between the pillows for the third goal. Enough for Coach John Ritchie to call a timeout for Holy Ghost. It's a standing 8 count for the Firebirds, who probably aren't used to being down 3-0.
The Raiders eyeballing that first ever state title with a commanding lead, 13-28 till the PA Cup ice cut. Live coverage of the Pennsylvania Cup on 10band and Trib Live High School Sports Network is brought to you by our new friends at Drusky Entertainment. Visit DruskyENT.com for a complete calendar of their upcoming live shows, including A Flock of Seagulls at Jurgles Rhythm and Grill Thursday, April 17th, Blood, Sweat, and Tears at Jurgles Thursday, May 29th, and comedian Drew Lynch at Carnegie of Homestead Music Hall Saturday, June 7th. Congratulations to Drusky Entertainment on 20 great years of service, and thank you for supporting our high school hockey coverage this spring on 10-Band TV and Trib Live High School Sports Network. Now, if you want an I ain't saying, I'm just saying, Holy Ghost Prep knocked out LaSalle in their league final this year. LaSalle was the team that was upset by Pine Richland in last year's 3A state final. The Rams saw a 3-0 lead in that game evaporate before rallying the tie with a goalie pulled and then winning in overtime on A.J. Brazilla's goal. Again, I ain't saying, I'm just saying how the Raiders come out of this timeout is just as important as how the Firebirds come out of this timeout.
Absolutely correct, Matt. If Seneca Valley exhales at all and takes a breather and just changes their mindset that we got this one in the bag, Holy Ghost Prep is going to counter, and it's going to be 3-1, 3-2, 3-3 very quickly. No doubt about it.
The Firebirds have firepower, and they're going to need some to get back in this game as Malitsky drives the net and runs into Unger, albeit unintentionally. The net behind Unger dislodged.
I think Coach Masiska, the message to his guys now is, look, our goalie's playing so well that our task is to not make mistakes that give them easy opportunities against our goalie. They're going to have to work and earn their goals. We're not going to turnovers, mistakes, odd man rushes is what we need to do. I'm not saying you go into a shell. It's too long for that. But you don't want to make it easy for Holy Ghost Prep.
You got to earn your keep. Absolutely. And Seneca Valley has come by their success to this point in the game. Honestly, Holy Ghost Prep, hopefully for the Raiders' sake, will have to do the same with 12:45 to play in the middle period.
I'm talking about things like that. Get it in deep, tag up when you have to. If you're as a disadvantage on the rush, get it in deep. Things to manage the puck well.
Valeria dispossessed just shy of the attacking line. Murtha trying to slip it to Soroka. Good read there by the Firebirds. 3 men abreast across the defensive blue line. Home run pass. The cutoff man there was Brady Logue. It's brought across the line by Valeriat. Valeriat cross ice. Took that pass. Couldn't shoot it cleanly on net. Again, the Raiders with sticks in lanes at just the right time.
That was great cross-ice pass by the Firebirds, and the Seneca Valley Raiders scrambled and blocked it.
Hewitt in front. Oh, good screen there on Morin. He was tied up by Spadacino. Quick transition by the Firebirds. Brady Logue met by Vinny Valea. Romer has to come near side to play this puck for Holy Ghost. Nichols settles it down and plays it to his defenseman, Valea. Hewitt, who got the last Seneca Valley goal, will ice this puck with 11:40 to play. Officially, it's Hewitt from Soroka, so Soroka has another multi-point game in the postseason for the Raiders.
He's been really good. So he was the one that made the pass over. So good on Soroka, Matt, as you described it, an excellent pass. He was in puck pursuit down in front of the Zamboni door as a right shot. He was able to make that pass not on his backhand, but on his forehand, and Marshall was able to catch it on his forehand and turn it over to the backhand.
Shot through a crowd, never made it through said crowd. Hewitt, the Penguins Cup final hero, his 3rd goal of the postseason. 3 goals in 2 championship games. That's not a bad playoff resume for his slow start to the beginning of the playoffs. It's not always how many goals you score, it's when you score them that counts. Martin to Cooper Hone. Romer retreating inside his own blue line. Holy Ghost goes for a line change. Nichols well off his line to play this puck around the boards for Owen Martin. Martin around a man, back to center. Chase Logue forcing the issue deep inside Seneca territory. Nichols nipping that in the bud. Turnaround shot went wide of Gavahan. The Firebirds are looking for something goofy, something silly, anything they can get to get Nichols off balance mentally or otherwise.
They're looking for a pinball goal in front.
Yep.
Off of this, off of that, tilt in the net.
Nearly had one there, but Nichols was wise to it.
His calmness between the pipes is, to me, very reminiscent of Eddie Nowicki at Baldwin when they won it a couple years ago. I mentioned that before. Eddie Nowicki was so calm when everything was happening. And he was on such a stellar run that Nichols is trying to repeat that if they're able to win this one today.
I remember being particularly happy for that Baldwin team, which had earned a Penguins Cup final berth for the first time in over 30 years, right before the COVID-19 pandemic forced the league to abandon the playoffs. But eventually, he got his Penguins Cup title and he got his Pennsylvania Cup title. Logue over the attacking line for the Firebirds, just wide of Nichols' glove hand. Carter Hone can't find that puck. The Firebirds have it out in front. They score! Cavahan nuzzles that nylon with under 10 to go, and the Flyers Cup champs have a pulse. It's 3-1.
It's kind of what I was talking about right there, Matt. A mistake. He just couldn't find the puck at his feet. He was looking all around for it, and he just couldn't locate it. As you're going to see here on the replay, it's right behind him. He doesn't know, and they step around him, able to make it pass on the forehand to an off wing. And it's going to be the goal for John Gavigan for the Firebirds. For Gavigan, his 4th of the playoffs, or 4th of the season.
Gwarek off the ensuing draw up the near boards for Seneca Valley. We have a stoppage here and a high stick on the puck called. And immediately the Raiders went over to Nichols and gave him some attaboys right before that face-off.
Again, very easy. Firebirds are much capable of winning this down 3-0. So the Raiders have got to stay on the front foot, keep playing. You can't just try to hang on.
Officially, it's Gavahan from Brady Logue as the puck is played near side by the Raiders. Unger watches it go by. Kinnery from just shy of the home bench plays it into Seneca Valley ice. Gwarek has to hustle back and does. Gwarek stood up. Turn over to Gonzalez, but turn right back over to Hewitt. Hewitt over the attacking line, dropping for Morin. Morin centering for Soroka. Soroka just missing the net. And one of the Raiders tried a Michigan. That was Hewitt. We saw that in a PWHL game earlier today. Abby Roque scored a Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. Marshall Hewitt trying to put himself in some elite company with a Michigan in the PA Cup, but to no avail. Riffey through the defense. On goal, kick save this time by Unger. Riffey, the first Seneca Valley goal scorer of this game. Lippy to his defensive partner, Romer. Romer up to center for Brady Logue. Raiders over the line. Riffey off balance. Nobody home for the cross-ice pass except Spadacino.
3 Raiders caught, 3-on-2.
Drop pass to Valerian. Valerian down low. Shot from an angle. I'll take that. Thank you very much, says Chris Nichols midway through the second.
That's another turnover that's unforced. Riffey tried to force that one drop pass, and as a result, 3 white jersey Raiders were caught behind, and it was a well-executed 3-on-2. A drop pass in support. Back to the original puck carrier that dropped it, and he tried to climb the ladder on Nichols, who, Matt, I'd like to see that Nichols was standing tall. He didn't drop and open up that corner.
Puck still loose on the doorstep, and Nichols scrambles somehow to recover. The Raiders may be taking a breath after that timeout and trying to get that breath back, with the Firebirds getting on the board and pushing back here, down by a deuce.
Yeah, I think Big Mo has switched benches right now. Momentum is with Holy Ghost as they're trying to claw back from a 3-0 deficit, now down only 3-1.
Raiders win the own zone draw. Murtha taps it back to center. Firebirds reset. Marshall to Tiberio for Valerian. Over the line it comes. Raiders quickly back to center. They try to hurry that transition play, and they've tried to do that often in this state final. Brady Logue weaving his way through center, being chased by Tyler Garvin. Logue had his stick lifted but stays with it. That pass cut out by Murtha. Murtha with speed. Murtha flips it to himself. Murtha to the goal, over the bar.
Murtha caught him on a bad change from their defenseman, the right defenseman.
Malichki to Murtha. Murtha forces the blocker save from Unger. Unger with 2 really nice saves in succession.
Nice play right there.
That was Bailey, forcing it all the way back toward goal and nearly turned over to Cooper Hone. Firebirds got a little clumsy there with the puck deep in their own zone. No harm done to them for the moment. Nichols behind his net playing this puck. Firebirds make a line change. It's stolen by Smarin out in front. Good stick there by one of the Raiders. That was Bailey again making the play. Kaufman can't keep it in off the hand. Holy Ghost tagging up. Michael Privatera on here for John Ritchie for the first time in this game. Watches it played beyond the reach of Nikolaski of the Raiders. Privatera from the official's crease stood up by Nikolaski as he got rid of that puck. Seneca Valley dumps it in, and they're guilty of icing.
One of my sayings and mantras I used to tell my team, Matt, is don't play the scoreboard. And what I meant by that is I want you to play the same way whether we're winning or losing. If you're up 3-0, you got to be playing it like we're trying to go 4-0 and further drive the stake in there. Don't look at the scoreboard and say, oh, you know, I can take it a little bit easier because we're up a couple goals. That's how you let teams back into the game.
The 233s collide at the far side. Hewitt and Lippy, part of their respective teams' leadership groups this season. Kaufman put it right off of Hewitt's body. Holy Ghost with some trouble exiting their own zone as this puck is kicked at by Chase Logue. Near side to Kaufman. Kaufman from 60 feet in on Nichols is steered aside. Lippy from the right boards.
Good poke
dispossessed by Hewitt. Hewitt over the attacking line as Morin going to the net. Hewitt takes it himself and forces the bad angle save from Unger. He knocks it out of play. Face-off coming up in Holy Ghost territory.
He tried to get that off the side of the head shoulder of Unger into the net. Coming down that left side, that left shot, bad angle. Sometimes you just need to protect it in the corner or try to circle the net or something.
Soroka wins it to the boards. Firebirds force it back to the neutral zone. Carter Hone under extreme duress, taken down by Chase Logue. Raider fans, some of them anyway, wanted a penalty, none forthcoming.
Good pass.
Morin at center. Morin has a goal in this game for Seneca Valley, dropping to Soroka, who forces the blocker save by Unger, and the long rebound comes conveniently to Chase Logue. Logue over the line. Gavahan just barely staying on side. That shot blocked by Maxwell. Carter Hone trying to reverse the play. He's tied up. Maxwell going to take matters into his own hands as we approach the final 5 minutes before the ice cut. Seneca Valley with a 3-1 lead over Holy Ghost Prep. Logue over the attacking line. Chase Logue, 1 against 3. Played aside by Morin. Back to center. Romer off the Seneca Valley glass. Maxwell retreats to the corner.
Good reverse right there.
Carter Hone taking his time, surveying the play. Now pressured by Gonzalez, gets rid of that puck. Bounce pass up to Malichki. Malichki hit as he dumps it in behind the Holy Ghost net. Murtha sneaking into the attacking zone. Murtha stood up by Gonzalez. Kaufman counterattacking. Gwarek giving some ground. Now stands up Kaufman in the corner. Kaufman out in front. That pass was cut out by Garvin at the side of the net. Oh, tense moment there.
Murtha just saved the goal with a long stick. That was going to be tucked in that far post.
The Raiders again playing some good positional hockey in their own zone. And it remains a 2-goal affair. Murtha sends it in as Garvin just got back on side a moment ago. Raiders hurry for a line change. And this will be icing on the Firebirds with under 4 to go. And I think Seneca Valley, Kevin, would be cool going to the locker room with a 2-goal lead, and they could look back and frame it as, okay, we had that one little bump in the road, but we still won the period. We're still in control of this thing.
I have a feeling like they're trying to hang on right now to get to the intermission, and that's a bad feeling. It's very easy to say the next goal in this game is going to be huge.
Nikolaski from the point. Wide of the net. Cooper Hone from the half wall. Played it in behind the cage. Penalty coming up, and it's going to go against Seneca Valley, it appears. Icing on Holy Ghost Prep. 3:34 till the ice cut. John Ritchie unable to get his extra skater on. High sticking, the indication on Owen Martin. Firebirds 0 for 1 already on the Penny power play. Chance to make it a 1-goal game.
At a time in the game where there's a lot of momentum could be carried into the intermission break if Holy Ghost Prep is able to cash in on this power play.
Near side, Valeriot to Brady Logue. Holy Ghost Prep on the Penny power play. Logue, one against the world. Trapped in the corner. Brady Logue off the side of the net, played aside by Nichols. It's still loose. Nichols from the prone position got a piece of that puck. And he'll get a whistle as the net behind him came off its moorings.
The net moving was not much of an issue in the 1A game. It was a big issue in the 2A game as the goal for North Penn was waived due to that. And it's becoming more frequent here in the 3A game.
Brady Logue taking the face off to Nichols' left, wins it cleanly to Chase. Chase Logue guarded by Malichki for Brady. Brady near side for Valeriot. Valeriot! Oh, getting a piece of that was Nichols. It's loose and now it's banged in! The Firebirds make it 3-2 with 2:56 left in period 2. And it's Ryan Lippy entering the chat.
Well, they won the draw. They got it over to the far side, and they got it to the net, and it bounced around. Valeriot was the one that shot it from the wing, and then it started bouncing in front. And as we mentioned, it's number 33, Ryan Lippy, that's going to put it home for the Firebirds. Third goal of the season for the defenseman that found himself in front of the net. And everything's kind of changed now for Seneca Valley. We got a 1-goal game.
Raiders win the faceoff. A lot of time left in this one, folks. Holy Ghost Prep in their conference final had a 3-0 lead and lost it. Now they're trying to erase a 3-0 deficit in the Pennsylvania Cup. Gonzalez knocked aside by Nichols. Barra to the point. That's through a crowd. Raiders able to locate that puck and play it to the corner. Gawarek up the boards. Lippy keeping it in for Gonzalez. Holy Ghost Prep right back to work here now that they've cut it to a 1-goal game. 2:10 to go in the period. Gonzalez pressured by Seneca Valley. Played in front of goal and cleared by Bailey. Hewitt trying to catch up to that puck. Raiders in the midst of a change. And Morin brings it up the right wing boards. Morin unable to get around Romer, and Romer sends it into Seneca Valley territory. Chase Logue hustling down on Carter Hone, who is able to get it back to center for Seneca Valley. And the Raiders look tired. You can tell by the body language.
Very much so.
Holy Ghost Prep trying to smell the blood in the water and get back on level terms as this puck is centered for Murtha. It's down low. Murtha shooting, scoring! Hit that horn, baby. Let's dance. Just when the Raiders were on the ropes, Jimmy Murtha takes them off the ropes and restores the multi-goal lead with 1:22 to play in period 2. Jimmy Murtha, the goal-getter.
Matt, it was a turnover just inside the blue line, a takeaway by Seneca Valley that got this play started, and then that puck was bouncing, hopping on edge in the slot, and Murtha was able to just get enough on it and slide it between the left pad and the left post of Unger, and they restore a 2-goal lead for the Raiders just like that.
Holy Ghost Prep did exactly what you want your team to do as a coach after that timeout by John Ritchie was taken. They just did exactly what, as a coach, you don't want your team to do at the end of a period. Let the other team undo the work that you did to get back in this thing.
It's demoralizing.
We'll see if they can respond. Hewitt down low for Martin. Martin couldn't locate that puck. Big goal there late in the period by the Raiders, who were reeling. Jimmy Murtha making it a 4-2 contest, 40 seconds before the ice cut. Murtha's second of the postseason, and his first since round one of the Penguins Cup playoffs. Morin chips it around Kaufman with 20 to go. Morin shrugs off the check from an angle. That shot is fanned on. Valerian over the attacking line. Valerian sends Brady Logue toward goal. Logue drew the save from Nichols. The Raiders have the puck with 7 seconds left, and they would be wise, I'm sure, to just protect it. Well, they'll sail it up into Holy Ghost prep territory, avoiding the icing call. They earn the buzzer, and now it is time to cut the ice at the Clearview Arena here inside the RMU Island Sports Center in Neville Township, PA. Your score after 2, Seneca Valley Raiders 4, Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds 2. He's Kevin Zielmanski. I'm Matt Popchock, and you're watching coverage of the 2025 Class 3A Pennsylvania Cup on TenbandTV and Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by Drusky Entertainment.
And it's a hockey night in Pittsburgh.
And I'll meet you in the schoolyard, baby, for all the marbles.
Loose change and I can't buy a thing. I'm like a
Thank you for calling Penny, PA's health insurance marketplace. How can I help you?
I need help paying my health insurance premiums.
You came to the right place. Penny gets you the lowest costs on high-quality plans.
Enroll now at penny.com. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Do you have a favorite leather couch or chair that's damaged? Has your car, boat, or RV's interior seen better days? Maybe your business's furniture or your private aircraft's interior could use a little love. You're probably thinking replacement is going to be expensive. And what happens to the damaged piece after you throw it out? Does it just end up in a landfill? It doesn't have to. Fiber New specializes in the restoration of leather, plastic, and vinyl. To get an estimate, connect with us today.
Gonna get up, pretty baby. Gonna get out of this rocking chair.
Cross ice, and it comes back to Lucas Blows. Hey, rookie! Welcome to the show, the Penguins Cup Championship Show, the Penguins Cup Playoff Show, and the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars putting on a show.
Tell the boys and girls I just don't care.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices, located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart. Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Get ready, Pittsburgh! Experience a night out on the town and the thrill of live music. Trusky Entertainment brings you the hottest concerts and unforgettable events right here in the Steel City. Visit TruskyEntertainment.com to grab your tickets today and don't miss out on the best live music in Pittsburgh.
Ah, look at him, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, climbing his way through the corporate rat race. We've all been there, focused on that next raise, promotion, chocolate bar. Keeping an eye on your health can be exhausting. Weight Loss Direct is a personalized wellness and weight loss program. We utilize an AI algorithm to determine your specific foods and match you with a real-life coach and an easy-to-follow meal plan so you could stay on track to success and health. Check out weightlossdirect.com to learn more.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings, all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Tyler Maxwell regrouping with Carter Hone. His overtime goal in the semifinals puts Seneca Valley in the championship game of the PIHL. He was stood up neatly by Spadacino. Lead pass for Logue as it's put wide of goal. That caught the pipe, I think, and it might have caught a piece of Nichols. Gradually bring it back to center. Logue with room to maneuver, makes his move. Logue to the goal, makes his move on Nichols, but Nichols got that left to back to center. Chance possibly for Hewitt. Hewitt on goal, makes his move, can't shoot it cleanly. Kaufman with some serious hustle to get back. Yes. The Raiders outlet it near side for Ethan Riffey. Riffey above the left circle. Score! Give the governor harumph! Ethan Riffey blasted by Unger, and Seneca Valley takes the 1-0 lead with 9.5 left in period one. Shot on Nichols again, and Nichols forces another face-off from the same spot. Self operating behind the cage now. Kinnery at the side of the net. Nichols forces it out of play.
Another excellent breakout by the Firebirds.
Off the face-off, Chase Logue forcing the save. The rebound bounces eventually to Hewitt.
We have a penalty upcoming.
Bottom teams in PIHL 3A during the regular season. Morin scores! Oh, make me a milkshake, Morin! Seneca Valley makes it a 2-0 game on the penny power play as Braden Morin, who led the Raiders with 13 regular season goals. Now, this is all Firebirds. Kaufman
with fake.
Cross ice shot. Nichols a save. He's got the rebound. And we've got a face-off forthcoming for Chase. Chase surveying the play, tees it up, shoots off Nichols, and he saw it all the way.
Yes, he did, Matt.
He had a buzzer beater, but Nichols had other ideas. Holy Ghost Prep will have 16 more seconds of power play time with which to work when we come back to clear the zone. Soroka catches up to that puck. Out in front. What a move. Score! Marshall. Seneca Valley 3, Firebirds nothing. That was a sick pass to Hewitt, Kevin. My goodness. Carter Hone can't find that puck. The Firebirds have it out in front. They score! Cavahan nuzzles that nylon with under 10 to go, and the Flyers Cup champs have a pulse. It's 3-1.
3 Raiders caught, 3-on-2.
Drop pass to Valerian. Valerian down low. Shot from an angle. I'll take that. Thank you very much, says Chris Nichols midway through the second.
That's another turnover that's unforced. Riffey tried to force the white jersey right up that corner.
Puck still loose on the doorstep, and Nichols scrambles somehow to recover. Pass cut out by Murtha. Murtha with speed. Murtha flips it to himself. Murtha to the goal. Over the bar.
Murtha caught him on
the play aside by Nichols. It's still loose. Nichols from the prone position got a piece of that puck. And he'll get a whistle as the net behind him came off its moorings. Near side for Valerian. Valerian! Oh, getting a piece of that was Nichols. It's loose, and now it's banged in! The Firebirds make it 3-2 with 2:56 left in period 2. Now they're trying to erase a 3-0 deficit in the Pennsylvania Cup. Gonzalez knocked aside by Nichols. Bang! Hit that horn, baby! Let's dance! Just when the Raiders were on the ropes, Jimmy Murtha takes them off the ropes and restores the multi-goal lead with 1:22 to play in period 2.
And it's a hockey night in Pittsburgh.
And I'll meet you in the schoolyard, baby, for all the marbles.
Thank you for calling Penny, PA's health insurance marketplace. How can I help you?
I need help paying my health insurance premiums.
You came to the right place. Penny gets you the lowest costs on high-quality plans.
Enroll now at penny.com. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Do you have a favorite leather couch or chair that's damaged? Has your car, boat, or RV's interior seen better days? Maybe your business's furniture or your private aircraft's interior could use a little love. You're probably thinking replacement is going to be expensive. And what happens to the damaged piece after you throw it out? Does it just end up in a landfill? It doesn't have to. FiberNew specializes in the restoration of leather, plastic, and vinyl. To get an estimate, connect with us today.
And it comes back to Lucas Blows. Hey, rookie, welcome to the show, the Penguins Cup Championship show, the Penguins Cup playoff show, and the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars putting on a show. Tell the boys and girls I just don't care.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Get ready, Pittsburgh! Experience a night out on the town and the thrill of live music. Trusky Entertainment brings you the hottest concerts and unforgettable events right here in the Steel City. Visit TruskyEntertainment.com to grab your tickets today and don't miss out on the best live music in Pittsburgh.
Look at him, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, climbing his way through the corporate rat race. We've all been there, focused on that next raise, promotion, chocolate bar. Keeping an eye on your health can be exhausting. Weight Loss Direct is a personalized wellness and weight loss program. You utilize an AI algorithm to determine your specific foods and match you with a real-life coach and an easy-to-follow meal plan so you could stay on track to success and health. Check out weightlossdirect.com to learn more.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings, all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Thank you for calling Penny, PA's official health insurance marketplace. How can I help?
Would preventative care and screenings be an option?
You came to the right place. Penny gets you the lowest cost on high-quality plans.
Enroll now at penny.com. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
What a wonderful day!
Welcome to Temple Strength and Sport Performance, where we empower you to reach new heights in strength, speed, and athletic performance. Temple is here to support you every step of the way. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned athlete, join him in Jefferson Hills, Pennsylvania, and discover the difference. For more information, call 412-527-1755. Start your journey with us today.
2 jumbo iced caramel drizzle peppermint mochaccino. Extra caramel.
That's us. I'd love to join you guys at the beach house for a few days, but between my job and the kids, it's just not that easy. Not to mention, how am I squeezing into a bikini after this winter?
Keeping off extra pounds while balancing a family and a career can be tough. And 500-calorie coffees won't get you there either. Weight Loss Direct provides a 24/7 support and one-on-one coaching to keep you on track and guarantee you success and health. Start your journey at weightlossdirect.com.
And it's a hockey night in Pittsburgh.
And I'll meet you in the schoolyard, baby, for all the marbles.
The Mount Washington Shop and Save is a proud sponsor of the Pennsylvania Cup on 10-Band TV and Trib Live High School Sports Network. Check out the ad on your screen during the broadcast for the latest, greatest deals on everything the Mount Washington Shop and Save has to offer. Whatever you need, yes, even eggs, store managers Jim and Michelle Kazarowski will make sure you find it at the Mount Washington Shop and Save. And special thanks to Jim and Michelle for their continued support of our playoff coverage on 10-Band TV and Trib Live High School Sports Network. Matt Popchock with Kevin Zielmanski getting set for period 3 of the Class 3A Pennsylvania Cup. More goals in this one than you and I had imagined, Kevin Zielmanski.
That's true. It was an early burst here. It's going to be Riffy, Ethan Riffy for Seneca Valley, buzzing the tower of the goaltender Jack Unger right there for a 1-0 lead for the Raiders. Followed up on a power play. It's going to be Braden Morin for Seneca Valley. He's going to give him a 2-0 lead. Right here it's going to be on the wing. He's going to throw it right at the net, score that one from the left wing side, right shot, power play goal, his first of the playoffs. Surprisingly, then it went to a 3-goal lead where Marshall Hewitt, the hero of the 3 overtime game, on a pass from John Sroka, who tracked that down in the corner, passed it in front, he turned it over. Right here, Sroka throwing it to Hewitt. It goes to the backhand between the pillows. Second of the playoffs, 3-0 Raiders. The Firebirds got on the board. John Gavigan from Brady Logue. Gavigan's 4th of the season. You see right here, right behind the Seneca Valley defenseman, it's going to be Logue that finds it. Gavigan does well to put his stick on the ice to present a target. He goes down on one knee for the finish. The Firebirds were on the board. Then on the power play, Holy Ghost Prep got their second one. Ryan Lippy, the defenseman, the captain of the Firebirds, was hanging out in front, and this one was bouncing all around. It bounced off the goaltender Nichols and went into the net. 3-2, and Big Mo was on the bench with the Firebirds, and it looked like it was going to be that way into the period, if not tied. And then all of a sudden, there was a turnover right inside, right there is kept in by Seneca Valley. They got a short area 3-on-2. Look at this bouncing puck. It's slapped over to Murtha, and Jimmy Murtha puts it home, his second of the playoffs, and restores the 2-goal lead for the Raiders.
Seneca Valley began their 24-25 season with the St. Margaret Fall Faceoff title. They won the Pennsylvania Scholastic Showcase over the holiday break. They won the Penguins Cup this past week. Can they complete the proverbial Grand Slam? We shall see. Raiders 4, Holy Ghost Prep 2, as we get set to start period 3 at the Island Sports Center.
Good shot there on the camera. Owen Martin, number 91, it was just in frame. He was assist to Murpha. He was able to knock that wobbly puck over to Murtha, who was able to put it home. So the Raiders get an opportunity to rest, get a little off their feet, get some fluids, maybe get a small snack or something in the locker room, and we're ready for the start of the third period. They are 17 minutes away from their first state championship.
The third period is our period. Let's go PA Cup. And go we shall, in loving memory of the late Larry Snyder. Final period of Pennsylvania Cup weekend underway. John Soroka in front of the Raider bench. Flip pass up to Hewitt. Hewitt, shouldered by the other 33, Holy Ghost captain Ryan Lippy. Sent back in by the Raiders. Lippy defensively beside his goaltender Jack Unger. Playing this puck up the near boards. Morin providing pressure for the Raiders. Up to Brady Logue it'll come. Logue from the high slot area gets the screen. Logue going toward net. It bounces in on Nichols, and it's covered just before it crosses the line.
Well executed 2-on-2 right there. John Gavigan was able to run a little bit of a pick into that defenseman right there. And Logue gets it on net, and it almost bounced off of something in between the pads of Nichols, who was able to throw that hand behind him and prevent that puck from crossing the goal line. That would have been a huge third goal of the game for the Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds early in this first period. It would have been in the first minute because we're 16-18 to go.
Whether he honors that early college commitment or not, wherever he plays next, he's going to do a heck of a job. I think that much is evident from this game, regardless of how it ends. Maxwell off the glass. Murtha in behind the Holy Ghost goal. Played defensively by Romer. From within his own circle, Romer trying to clear. He can't. Good move here by Martin. Martin to the cage. He shoots. Oh, it's on the goal line. And the Raiders bang it in! Honey, it's time to take out the trash. Jimmy Murtha pots a pair in the Pennsylvania Cup. Seneca Valley 5, Holy Ghost Prep 2. And again, after the big pushback that the Firebirds had in the middle period, that goal looms large.
And again, just go to the front of the net, get your stick on a bouncing goal, and we're going to have a goaltending change. Into the goal for the Firebirds now is John Botoff. Jack Unger, who everyone had said had been playing so well in these playoffs for the Firebirds, and during the season, just does not look good tonight, and they're going to make the change early in this third period.
Well, I don't want to compare it to Vladislav Tretiak getting benched by Viktor Tikhonov, but suffice to say, the Seneca Valley Raiders, who had not been lighting the world on fire offensively, have just put one of the best goaltenders in Eastern Pennsylvania on the bench with 15:44 to play in this state final.
Same combination, Murtha for Martin.
Where is Jack? Asks the Seneca Valley student section. A startling turn of events indeed, but desperate times, desperate measures for the Firebirds and John Ritchie. Botoff, 3-1 in league play, all competitions, postseason included, 252 goals against.
That's a gutsy call by Coach Ritchie right there, Matt. You're going to do it a minute into the third period of the state championship game.
And Unger immediately slamming his stick against the visitors' bench.
Lost the blade. Kaufman is going to have to fight his way to the bench.
Oh, boy.
He has no blade.
Lead pass to Hewitt, and fortunately for Kaufman's sake, Hewitt was in an offside position. Otherwise, this could have gotten even uglier for the Firebirds, but they get the whistle.
I saw something fall out, and I thought he toe-picked Matt and went down awkwardly, and his stick broke. But it was not a stick break, it was a blade, and it was just a hitch and trailer situation to drag him over to the bench.
I shouldn't laugh because that's not a good situation for a player, but he grabbed onto the stick of his captain, Lippy, and Lippy was pulled like the sled when you're pulling the sled up the snowy hill as a kid back to the Holy Ghost bench. I've literally never seen that before. Right. That was a riot.
And Matt, they did it so quickly that it was like they did it before, like they knew exactly what to do.
Oh my goodness. PA Cup after dark. This is when it gets crazy, kids. We're going to see a little bit of everything here in these final 17, and the Raiders won a power play opportunity, but they will not get one for the time being as Oser puts it off a body. Smarin unable to control that puck in front. Nichols bats it aside calmly with the broadside of his goalie stick as Seneca Valley ices the puck beyond Botoff.
And you're kind of right, Matt, because you look outside and the sun's down now. It is nightfall.
And it seems fitting that on the last day of the season, we have hockey weather in Western Pennsylvania today. A little cloudy, a little chilly.
Yeah.
Got the jackets on.
We had good weather last week during the Penguin Cup. Now it feels like early March or late February type weather.
Winter's last hurrah in Western Pennsylvania.
I think we're all ready for it to go away for this year.
I'll second that, Kevin. Seneca Valley 5, Holy Ghost Prep 2. Early in period 3 of the Class 3A PA Cup Final. The Firebirds looking for their second state title ever. The Raiders their first. For the West, if the Raiders do prevail, it would be 3 Class 3A state titles in a 4-year span.
That's a bit unexpected, considering how much LaSalle had been dominating the 3A classification.
That win last year by Pine Richland was no mean feat. That was, I think, a surprise to a lot of people as it's played in on Botoff, but the point is moot because the net was dislodged. The goal would not have counted.
The Firebirds won the Flyers Cup in 2003 in 2A. They won in 2007, 15, 17, and now 25. So they have 5 Flyers Cup championships. In 2003, they lost to Peters Township. In 2007, they lost to North Allegheny Tigers. In 15, they defeated the Cannon McMillan Big Macs for their only state championship. And in 2017, they lost again to Peters Township in the 3A championship.
Played near side for Kinnery. Kinnery with speed up the right wing boards. Carter Hone gets his stick down and cuts off the centering pass. Nikolaski hits a player from behind. And we play on. Little surprised that wasn't a penalty, just the way they've been calling him today. But in any event, Nikolaski dumps the puck. Correction, Maxwell dumps the puck for Seneca Valley. Raiders trying to change personnel. Taberio sneaks around Nikolaski. Santino Taberio, I should say, trying to go cross ice, but the pass was too heavy to Gonzalez. Raiders in transition. Here's Riffy, left side. Riffy centering pass on the doorstep. Cooper Hone couldn't shoot it.
They've yet to test Botoff since he's entered the game.
And I wonder if it wasn't so much an indictment of Unger, but just a wake-up call from John Ritchie to his defensemen, because they've been playing a lot tighter in front of the new goaltender since he arrived.
You only have so many levers, and that's one of them to get your team's attention.
Hewitt unable to split the defense. Raiders persist. Hewitt on his backhand, down low. Morin in front. Morin! Burial! Thank you, sir. May I have another? Braden Morin makes it 6-2 Raiders with 12 and a half to play.
That passing sequence was one of the nicest we've seen. A give and go down along the goal line, and Morin, with the patience of Job, goes top glove, pops the bottle, which is behind the net right now, laying against the dasher boards. Right there, do you see the bottle? It is now 6-2 Seneca Valley.
Did you ever pop any water bottles as a player?
I don't think at that time they really kept them on the back of the net.
Because I was going to ask, is it considered an extra achievement to get the water bottle to go all the way to the end of the board?
Oh yeah, they will be talking about it. They'll be talking about popping the bottle on the bench.
I thought so. Privatera gets it deep for Holy Ghost. And the Firebirds were very much in this hockey game in period 2 despite falling behind 3-0. John Ritchie using his timeout. Holy Ghost Prep making it a 1-goal game, but ever since Jimmy Murtha's late second period tally, it's been all downhill for the Flyers Cup champs.
Yeah, that was kind of the pin in the balloon of the comeback effort for the Firebirds. They seem to have the momentum, and Jimmy Murtha said, not so fast.
Murtha since collecting another. Braden Morin, the regular season goals leader of the Raiders, collecting 2 of his own from Soroka and Hewitt. Soroka with 3 helpers on the day. Hewitt with multiple points as we get a stoppage here with 11:19 left.
Chase Lowe laid the body into John Nikolaski right there in front of the exit door and then skated back past him to say something to him about it, which is all well and good, Chase Logue, but you are down 4 goals. So I think Nikolaski will take the hit if he gets to raise the trophy in 11 minutes and 19 seconds.
And to your point, Kevin, I wonder about that because it's not like this is a team that you're going to see again for the foreseeable. Like there's none of that message sending, like mental chess stuff you see when a game gets out of hand. So it's doubly foolish on that player's part.
No problem with the hit. It was a clean hit. He skated away and on the back check chirped him. I'm talking about the chirp when he wasn't getting up. That is the problem I had with Chase Logue.
And I do not foresee Nikolaski coming back into this game, provided it stays a wide margin in favor of Seneca Valley. Nikolaski urging on the Raider fans who are on their feet here, encouraging the injured player back onto the Seneca Valley bench for further attention from the on-duty EMT.
If Nikolaski gets up quickly and you want to chirp him, all good. But who's down on the ice?
Near side off the face-off win, Carter Hone across the line. And you got to give Tyler Masiska and his staff and his players a ton of credit. It's a very tough league that Holy Ghost Prep plays in, a lot of great competition. Most of the dominant teams from the East at this level have come from the APAC in recent years. We mentioned LaSalle and St. Joseph's Prep. Holy Ghost Prep certainly has had some good seasons, including this one. And it's nothing to shake a finger at what the Raiders are doing to this great hockey team here today.
Absolutely. They put all the private schools there. Holy Ghost, they only play 8 games because there's only 5 schools. There used to be only 4, and the Hun school's a new entry. Holy Ghost Prep went 6-2, as did LaSalle. St. Joe's went 5-3. Malvern went 3-5, and then the Hun school went 0-8. I know they all play extensive non-conference schedules, but maybe you need to play a few more in the conference than 8.
Now, the beautiful thing about this time of the season is that the Western PA folks learn something about what Eastern PA hockey is all about, and the Eastern PA folks learn a little something about what Western PA hockey is all about, as we will get a penalty here against Cooper Hone. And
this is to keep things under control.
And Malichki is arguing why there isn't a coincidental penalty, because both players, Hohen and Lippy, went down and were going at each other inside the Holy Ghost blue line. In that case, I think Malichki might have a legitimate beef.
He made the motion with his hands like he threw his head off the turnbuckle right there. It's time to, got to put it aside and go on the kill right here.
Holy Ghost Prep 1 for 2 on the penny power play. Their third chance of this game, down by 4, with still a considerable amount of time left in this third period. Brady Logue from center point. Another penalty coming up. Botov coming on for the extra skater.
They're just pulling the goalie.
Oh, wow. You are correct, Kevin. I stand corrected. John Ritchie, hey, you might as well.
That's a good move.
Valeriot. Near side, it's a 6-on-4 advantage for the Firebirds. Good poke check there by Weston, side of the net. Oh, what a save by Nichols. Speaking of going west to east.
He pushed off that left to right like he was going cross state right there. Nichols just reading the cross ice pass, getting over there to make that save. The cautious part about pulling your goalie is down a man, they can fire at the net without bringing the faceoff back in. There's no icing while shorthanded. You get a look at Botov right there on the bench. Holy Ghost Prep going with 6-on-4 here, trying to get back into this one. You got to get a faceoff win.
But the Raiders get the faceoff win. They fire for the empty net, and they hit the empty net. Raiders 7, Firebirds 2, under 10 to go. It's a shorthanded empty net goal. And you can break out the chapeaus for Braden Morin, baby. He's got a hat trick in the Pennsylvania Cup, and the Raiders are starting to celebrate.
Well, that is the Chile goal. And you have to be a local to understand that one. That was the risk. I talked about pulling the goal. You can fire at the net. Center cut right there, right in the middle of the net for Morin, and he's got the hat trick.
Oh, maybe as a compromise, Jess can call the Eaton Park on the Breezewood exit. meet the two sides halfway. Kaufman inside his own zone. Still time to go on this penny power play for Holy Ghost. Barra taken down. Raiders get another clear. Seneca Valley, again, you get the feeling that they took Holy Ghost Prep's best punch 1 period ago, and they have since counterpunched in a big way.
Yes, that's an understatement. As we wait for the box score to be updated to see if there's any assist. I'm not sure who took that draw, but Gump Whiteside and I were speaking before the game, and we both talking about how well defensively both teams are, and maybe there wouldn't be a lot of goals. And the last thing I said to him, of course, it'll probably be like 10-9. And the Raiders now have 7.
From his point of view, I'm sure he'll be fine with that as long as the Raiders have the 10. But
well, he's from Holy Ghost. So.
Well, 1 foot in front of the other. First, you got to get to 3, and Chris Nichols doing his darndest to keep that from being the case, making another save there with 10 to go in the power play.
And Chris Nichols is now stating his case for some Player of the Year consideration when that's released locally by the PG, along with the Stellar 6.
He had won 6 of his last 7 starts. He's on the cusp of making it 7 of his last 8. Marshall Hewitt had points in 8 of his last 7 entering the Pennsylvania Cup. He picked up another helper on that empty netter. He now has 3 points in this game for Seneca Valley. Midway through period 3, and the teams are back to 5 aside. Seneca Valley 7, Holy Ghost Prep 2. The Raiders half a period away from their first ever state hockey championship. Hewitt dangling through the circle. Hewitt to the corner for Gawarek. Gawarek to the point. Down low for Morin. Morin trying to put 4 on the floor, but we got a scrap-picking out here between Gawarek and Valeriat. And they're both going to go off here. John Nikolaski, who was injured earlier in the period, has his helmet off. He's on his feet next to our ringside camera operator, Kennedy Kazarowski, begging the Seneca Valley fans for more noise as both players are escorted off the ice.
Well, they're 8 minutes and 1 second away from a substantial celebration. To the Seneca Valley fans listening, Matt and I just want to know where the party is. We get the invite.
And I know you know something about how this feels, Kevin, because once upon a time, Bishop Canavan, the team you coached, was a team that was always really, really good, but could never get over the hump until all of a sudden they did. Seneca Valley, similarly, right down to the uniform colors even, was that team for years and years. They were a good team. They were always in the thick of the playoff race, but could never win the big one. Now they've won the big one. Now they're going to win the even bigger one.
Yeah, Matt, in this sport, you kind of follow the population. I mean, Seneca Valley didn't really even exist when I was playing in the late 80s, and now it's one of the biggest school districts in the area, up in the Warrendale-Cranberry area. All kinds of players playing. You got the rink up there at Barrel, so it takes time. Everyone's always in a rush.
Not everybody can be in Avonworth. Let's just put it that way. Save made there by Botoff. I'm sorry.
It's going to be the coronation of their program here tonight for Seneca Valley.
And we want to remind you, thank you to my producer, Todd Kazarowski, for the gentle reminder during the celebration. Stay with us because the post-game show will be starting moments after that on our sister channel, TenbandTV Sports 2. If you want to go to it directly after the game to watch our post-game interviews with presumably the Raiders, who lead by 5 with 7 minutes to play, you can find the direct link at states.tenband.tv. Again, states.tenband.tv. And be patient with us. It takes players time to get up there after the locker room celebration fizzles out, but we will be with you.
Yeah, it's not in the lobby. It's in the Hat Trick Club, which is an area that overlooks the arena, so they have to get dressed and walk across over there. But it's been fun, Matt, because the fans are going up there and it's a lively, raucous atmosphere while you're doing the interviews.
The Western and Eastern fans have had their chance to go up there today and look on and watch their winning team celebrate. We had Burrell at the beginning of the day winning the inaugural Division II state championship, defeating the John Paul Patriots. Earlier today, we had Garnet Valley and North Penn celebrate Pennsylvania Cup titles in 1A and 2A respectively. And now we're going to crown another brand new state champion like Garnet Valley was earlier today, the Seneca Valley Raiders.
Yeah, we're not officially calling that D2 a state championship. That's just a challenge cup that they won. First year to kind of get things going.
And once again, we want to thank all our great sponsors and team partners. They say it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to cover your children, for that matter. And all the teams and all the sponsors, Drusky Entertainment, Weight Loss Direct, Mount Washington Shop and Save, Solyco Advisors, Fibrenew, Temple Strength and Sport Performance. I'm sure I'm leaving somebody out. South Fayette, Seneca Valley, Mount Lebanon, Peters Township, Chartiers Valley. So many well-run programs on this side of Pennsylvania who have supported us and at times paid out of their own pocket to have us cover their team's games and make memories that'll last a lifetime. You know, whatever happens, it's all about the experience. That's the great thing about high school hockey here in Pennsylvania. But the point is, we couldn't do this without all them, and we appreciate you guys being along with us all year, too.
That's right. And if you've been enjoying the coverage and you're able to, you can always help next season.
And to your point, we need you for next year.
Yes.
Email sales@tenbandmedia.com, pardon me. Email Todd@tenbandmedia.com, and we'll find an advertising and game package that meets pretty much any budget you can think of. We'd love to work with you in 25-26. It has been a pleasure to cover all of our Pennsylvania Cup finalists today as we wind down our nightcap with 20 seconds to go on the penny power play for the Seneca Valley Raiders, a power play that is a formality at this point with the Raiders up by 5 goals. It was 3-0 Seneca Valley. It was then 3-2 Seneca Valley. The Raiders have broken loose since with a big third period here. And both these teams were such strong third period teams throughout the postseason. Holy Ghost Prep had some pretty big third periods of their own. So it's interesting to see Seneca Valley kind of give them a taste of their own medicine here tonight.
It got dicey there for a while for Seneca Valley. Holy Ghost, as expected, made a push. And they looked like they were going to seize control of this game, tie it up. And Seneca Valley answered. And they just stiff-armed the Firebirds, as the expression I was using during the Penguin Cup. They just kept getting close, and they just kept pushing them back.
Near side, Leighton Moreau up to center. We'll see if Tyler Masiska empties his own bench to any degree. Moreau, skating left wing side, plays it toward goal. Botoff, the backup keeper, with the save. This puck tipped just wide. And that was Moreau nearly getting one behind Botoff. Colin Weston at center as we approach 4 minutes to play. Moreau over the attacking line. Brady Logue up the right boards. Logue creating space. Logue with a toe drag in front. It's cut out by the Raiders. And again, more good support for their goaltender.
They've done well to keep Logue in check.
Very well. Again, a Division I prospect for the Firebirds. Logue with only 1 point in this PA Cup final game on the assist to Gavahan on the first Holy Ghost goal. The 4 unanswered Seneca Valley goals officially, just to recap, Murtha from Martin again, Morin from Soroka and Hewitt. Morin shorthanded into the empty net from Hewitt. And we'll see if that's all she wrote. The pace, which was so brisk at the beginning of this game, has slowed considerably. The chatter and the hitting has not. We get another stoppage with 3:06 to go.
Well, it appears, as it's been the norm the last years, it's going to be 2 for the East and 1 for the West. Usually it's been dominated in 1A and 3A by the East, and 2A is where the West had a pretty good chance. That wasn't the case today. North Penn dropped it on Cathedral Prep in that third period with four unanswered goals. And much like last year, Seneca Valley's going to get the 3A title.
And for the second PA Cup game in a row, we've seen a pretty good goaltender, a hot goaltender, taste defeat. Ian Brown was playing remarkably for Cathedral Prep, and then it all kind of came apart, as you said, on the Ramblers late. Jack Unger had a huge playoff for Holy Ghost Prep, chased early in the third period tonight by the Seneca Valley Raiders. Maxwell, near corner to Hone. And indeed, it might be time to warm up the buses, but I don't know if I'd warm them up right away. None of these fans seem intent on leaving because the Raiders are about to celebrate the ultimate prize in another 2 minutes, 20 seconds hockey time.
Well, if the Firebirds are leaving after this one, it's going to be a way past midnight arrival in suburban Philadelphia. The school is in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. So I don't know if they got the bus at the school or where, or if they're going to stay the night and go in the morning, but I'm going to assume they're going to take off tonight.
You can fly on that turnpike, but you don't want to fly too fast.
No.
Spadacino from behind the Seneca Valley goal. Logue to the corner. Spadacino, the alternate captain, to the point for Marshall. Marshall bouncing it toward goal just wide of Nichols. Firebirds on the rebound as Valea puts a hard hit on Spadacino, behind the cage. Ryan Campbell gets a step on Marshall. Marshall recovers to make the play defensively. Campbell to the corner. Riffey, who got the scoring started some time ago for the Raiders, played it behind the Holy Ghost net.
Kind of eerily quiet in the rink right now.
Especially for what's about to happen.
70
Anticipation,
seconds.
Disbelief that they've made it this far, maybe a little bit of both. It's such a grind, and Bob Orkowitz, one of your frequent broadcast partners, was talking about that in the Challenge Cup game. The season in the West started in literal September. The first games were actually on September 30th this year, although we use the word October loosely. But yeah, they've been playing hockey in Pennsylvania for the high schools since September 30th, and we're at the end of March now. It's a grind, man.
It's because of ice availability. When I first started coming back to coaching in 97-98 season, the St. Margaret's tournament was in the second week of October, and the league started playing games in early November, and we still squeezed everything in and finished at the same time, but that's not the case anymore. Everything starts so much earlier. We don't have enough time to discuss all the reasons. I'm not even sure I know all the reasons, but nevertheless, I did do a game on the NA Sports Network that day, September 30th, Bobby and I.
We've come a long way, baby, and so have the Seneca Valley Raiders, who are starting to get arm in arm and celebrate on the home bench here at the RMU Island Sports Center inside the Clearview Arena. Neville Township is about to be set ablaze, figuratively speaking, by these Raider fans. They've waited a long time to see their program capture a state hockey championship, and they're 20 seconds away. Out in front, Spadacino, but we're going to get more penalties here. Spadacino had the rifle cocked, too. He was ready to shoot that puck.
It's going to be on Colin Barra for a high hit. Kaufman's talking to the bench. Everybody's talking now.
"18 ticks to talk."
I would really consider, if I win this draw, Seneca Valley, and turn around skating all the way back into my zone behind Nichols and just play some keep away for 18.1 seconds.
They do win the face-off. They fire it on goal. Maxwell does. Botoff will keep the play moving with 10 seconds left. 5 seconds left. Father, Son, Holy Ghost, you're the team that's got the most. The Seneca Valley Raiders, for the first time in history, are Pennsylvania Cup champions. Final score, Raiders 7, Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds 2. The Penguins Cup champs have won their first state title as a program. They celebrate down to our right, and somebody tell Elvis it's time to go home.
Really, really impressive effort today by Seneca Valley to win this 3A Pennsylvania Cup championship. If you would have told me 3-2, 4-2 with an empty netter, I said okay. 7-2, a bit unexpected.
The Raiders had been winning the old-fashioned way. And again, I go back to that Paul Benetti line, gritty, not pretty. That's been Seneca Valley in this postseason. But today, somehow, some way, against this very talented Holy Ghost Prep squad, they were able to open the floodgates and win decisively here in the Class 3A Pennsylvania Cup Final. The Raiders won 18 games in all in PIHL play against 5 losses, make it 19 in the high school interscholastic season. The Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds finish with an overall record of 21-5-1 with one tie. Yes, ties are still a thing in that part of the state. And so the handshake line commences.
Nichols is going to come to the front. So is Botoff and Unger.
24 saves and a championship ring, a second one to come to Chris Nichols, the winning goaltender.
And I interviewed him after the Penguin Cup. He's a man of few words. Very few words.
A lot of goaltenders are, I've come to find. They're a different breed. And it's like, you were talking about him being in such a zone. It's like the pitcher in baseball who's throwing a no-hitter. I wonder if the Raiders were in that locker room just all trying to keep away from him. They don't want to jinx him, but they're giving him all the hockey hugs now, I'll bet.
Great season for Holy Ghost Prep.
It was.
It's I always think of all 3 of these games. The seniors on the losing team, it hits them very hard. Not so much the loss. The loss hits you, but it's the suddenness of it all being over.
Exactly.
That's what's emotional.
Austin McLean is speaking. Lenny Santora, the keeper of the cup, is at center ice with PIHL Commissioner Tom Halliburka.
The Philly crowd, for their standards, was not light either. An environment like this championship game would not be possible without you guys. With that said, let's hear these 2 teams. Holy Ghost Prep. You guys had an incredible regular season. You guys had an incredible playoff run. Unfortunately, you fell short tonight, but a lot to be proud of at the end of the year. Let's hear it for the Firebirds. Seneca Valley. From November, I have heard that you guys have been the team to beat. And you guys proved that all along. It took you guys 1 overtime to get to get past the semifinals. It took you guys 3 overtimes to get here tonight. And can anybody upstairs confirm that that was the longest game in PIHL history? Because I did see something about that tonight. And now you guys proved once again, you guys are the strongest team out there, played one of your best games of the year. Now you guys get some hardware to keep. When I call your names, please go up and retrieve your medals. Number 3, Jameson Collin. Number 13, Brayden Moore. Number 16, Ryan Campbell. Number 19, Colin Weston. Number 20, John Zaglowski. Number 21, Jimmy Murthel. Number 24, Tyler Maxwell. Number 26, Lake Maru. Number 28, Andrew Mullicky. Number 29, Carter Hone. Number 33, Marshall Hewitt. Number 35, Matthew Gilchrist. Number 40, Christopher Nichols. Number 42, Ethan Rick. Number 53, CJ Boyd. Number 57, Luke Myers. Number 59, John Soroka. Number 63, Matthew Bailey. Number 76, Cooper Home. Number 77, Tyler Garvin. Number 89, Jake Butchell. Number 91, Owen Martin. And number 92, Vinci Noella. Head coach for the Raiders, Tyler Masiska. Assistant coaches, Parker Bates, Sam Jarrett, and goal coach, Mike Nexa. All right, Raiders, new hats, new medals. Are you ready for a new trophy? Your captains, please step forward.
Alternate captains Jimmy Merva and Marshall Hewitt, and captain Andrew Malichki hoisting the Pennsylvania Cup for the first time in Seneca Valley hockey history. Malichki skating it over to the Raiders student section. Players, coaches following suit. Thank you to Jared Toddhunter of Toddhunter Productions for his still photography for the PIHL and Pennsylvania Cup. Follow him on social media at Toddhunter Prods Thank you to Kevin Zielmanski. Thank you, Dylan Offerman. Thank you, Jess Levo. Thank you, Tyler Polk. Thank you, Todd Kazarowski. Thank you, again, Kennedy Kazarowski. Thank you, Brian Mitchell. Thank you, Tom Halliburka. Thank you, Bob Orquist. Thank you, fans. And fresh off his Academy Award for Best Boy, Michael Lyman, our ringside camera operator, for his great work as always. A fun day of hockey has finally come to an end here in Western Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania Cup celebrating its golden anniversary, and it ends with a celebration, for the Seneca Valley Raiders, who defeat the Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds by a 7-2 final score. And the Raiders holding court down in front of their own net. Just a mess of sticks and gloves over there.
That's the celebratory yard sale.
You know what it's like to be in one of those, and I know that you know there's no greater feeling.
I was on the short end twice, and the victorious end once.
Kennedy Kazarowski down at ice level as some of the Seneca Valley players are being photographed with the trophy. And they're not going to want to let go of that thing for a long time. We can promise that. Again, we invite you to stay tuned after we sign off here for the post-game show, which will be on our sister channel, Tenband Sports 2. Again, the direct link is states.tenband.tv. And the team will need time to get upstairs, obviously, but we will be there to interview the victorious Raiders, and we hope that you will stick around and watch that as well, Seneca Valley fans. The Raiders are Pennsylvania Cup champs for the first time in their history, and the West has won again in Class 3A in the Pennsylvania Cup. Seneca Valley 7, Holy Ghost Prep 2. Anything else to add, Kevin?
Impressive, dominant performance with Seneca Valley. An impressive day of hockey here. Thanks to everyone. Thanks to everyone involved with the broadcast for allowing me to sit alongside of you here. It was fun.
And you made it that much more fun, Kevin. We appreciate having you on board throughout the playoffs. And in a year full of thrills, chills, happiness, heartbreak, goal celebrations, and oblique pop culture references, I will leave you with one more. Life is made up of meetings and partings. That is the way of it. We've enjoyed meeting some of you. Now we must part for another season. We'll be back for PIHL girls season in April. Until then, I'm Matt Popchock, and that's all she wrote from the island. You've been watching the Pennsylvania Cup on TenbandTV and Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by Drusky Entertainment.
It's a hockey night in Pittsburgh.
And I'll meet you in the schoolyard, baby, for all the marbles.
Loose change and I can't buy a thing. I'm like a
Tyler Maxwell regrouping with Carter Hone. His overtime goal in the semifinals puts Seneca Valley in the championship game of the PIHL. He was stood up neatly by Spadacino. Lead pass for Logue as it's put wide of goal. That caught the pipe, I think, and it might have caught a piece of Nichols. Gradually bring it back to center. Logue with room to maneuver, makes his move. Logue to the goal, makes his move on Nichols, but Nichols got that left to back to center. Chance possibly for Hewitt. Hewitt on goal, makes his move, can't shoot it cleanly. Kaufman with some serious hustle to get back.
Yes.
The Raiders outlet it near side for Ethan Riffey. Riffey above the left circle. Score! Give the governor harumph! Ethan Riffey blasted by Unger, and Seneca Valley takes the 1-0 lead with 9.5 left in period one. Shot on Nichols again, and Nichols forces another face-off from the same spot. Self operating behind the cage now. Kinnery at the side of the net. Nichols forces it out of play.
Another excellent breakout by the Firebirds.
Off the face-off, Chase Logue forcing the save. The rebound bounces eventually to Hewitt.
We have a penalty upcoming.
Bottom teams in PIHL 3A during the regular season. Morin scores! Oh, make me a milkshake, Morin! Seneca Valley makes it a 2-0 game on the Penny power play as Braden Morin, who led the Raiders with 13 regular season goals. Now, this is all Firebirds. Kaufman.
Good fake.
Cross ice shot. Nichols a save. He's got the rebound. And we've got a face-off forthcoming for Chase. Chase surveying the play, tees it up, shoots off Nichols, and he saw it all the way.
Yes, he did, Matt.
He had a buzzer beater, but Nichols had other ideas. Holy Ghost Prep will have 16 more seconds of power play time with which to work when we come back to clear the zone. Soroka catches up to that puck. Out in front. What a move. Score! Marshall. Seneca Valley 3, Firebirds nothing. That was a sick pass to Hewitt, Kevin. My goodness. Carter Hone can't find that puck. The Firebirds have it out in front. They score! Cavahan nuzzles that nylon with under 10 to go, and the Flyers Cup champs have a pulse. It's 3-1.
3 Raiders caught, 3-on-2.
Drop pass to Valerian. Valerian down low. Shot from an angle. I'll take that. Thank you very much, says Chris Nichols midway through the second.
That's another turnover that's unforced. Riffy tried to force white jersey right up that corner.
Puck still loose on the doorstep, and Nichols scrambles somehow to recover. Pass cut out by Murtha. Murtha with speed. Murtha flips it to himself. Murtha to the goal. Over the bar.
Murtha caught him
on a play aside by Nichols. It's still loose. Nichols from the prone position got a piece of that puck. And he'll get a whistle as the net behind him came off its moorings. Near side for Valerian. Valerian! Oh, getting a piece of that was Nichols. It's loose and now it's banged in. The Firebirds make it 3-2 with 2:56 left in period 2. Now they're trying to erase a 3-0 deficit in the Pennsylvania Cup. Gonzalez knocked aside by Nichols. Bang! Hit that horn, baby! Let's dance! Just when the Raiders were on the ropes, Jimmy Murtha takes them off the ropes and restores the multi-goal lead with 1:22 to play in period 2. Logue from the high slot area gets the screen. Logue going toward net. It bounces in on Nichols, and it's covered just before it crosses the line. In his own circle, Romer trying to clear. He can't. Good move here by Martin. Martin to the cage. He shoots. Oh, it's on the goal line, and the Raiders bang it in! Honey, it's time to take out the trash. Jimmy Murtha pots a pair in the Pennsylvania Cup. Seneca Valley 5, Holy Ghost Prep 2. For the West, if the Raiders do prevail, it would be 3 Class 3. Win last year by Pine Richland was no mean feat. That was, I think, a surprise to a lot of people as it's played in on Botoff, but the point is moot because the net was dislodged, the new goaltender since he arrived.
You only have so many levers, and that's one of them to get your team's attention.
Hewitt unable to split the defense. Raiders persist. Hewitt unable to split the defense. Raiders persist. Hewitt on his backhand, down low. Morin in front. Morin! Burial! Thank you, sir. May I have another? Braden Morin makes it 6-2 Raiders with 12 and a half to play.
8. I know they all play extensive non-conference schedules, but maybe you need to play a few more in the conference than 8.
For the Firebirds, good poke check there by Weston, side of the net. Oh, what a save by Nichols. Speaking of going west to east.
You got to get a face-off win.
But the Raiders get the face-off when they fire for the empty net, and they hit the empty net. Raiders 7, Firebirds 2, under 10 to go. It's a shorthanded empty net goal, and you can break out the chapeaus for Braden Morin, baby. Well, 1 foot in front of the other. First he got to get to 3, and Chris Nichols doing his darndest to keep that from being the case. 5 seconds left. Father, Son, Holy Ghost, you're the team that's got the most. The Seneca Valley Raiders, for the first time in history, are Pennsylvania Cup champions. Final score, Raiders 7. And somebody tell Elvis it's time to go home. Yes, ties are still a thing in that part of the state. And so the handshake line commences.
Nichols is going to come to the
Seneca Valley Raiders, who defeat the Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds by a 7-2 final score.
And it's a hockey night in Pittsburgh.
And I'll meet you in the schoolyard, baby, for all the marbles.
Loose change and I can't buy a thing. I'm like a
Score! Give the governor harumph! Ethan Riffey blasts it by Unger, and Seneca Valley takes the 1-0 lead with 9.5 left in period 1. Bottom teams in PIHL 3A during the regular season. Morin scores! Oh, make me a milkshake, Morin! Seneca Valley makes it a 2-0 game on the penny power play as Braden Morin, who led the Raiders with 13 regular season goals, to clear the zone. Soroka catches up to that puck. Out in front, what a move! Score! Marshall! Seneca Valley 3, Firebirds 0. That was a sick pass to Hewitt, Kevin. My goodness. Carter Hone can't find that puck. The Firebirds have it out in front. They score! Cavahan nuzzles that nylon with under 10 to go, and the Flyers Cup champs have a pulse. It's 3-1. Near side for Valerian. Oh, getting a piece of that was Nichols. It's loose, and now it's banged in. The Firebirds make it 3-2 with 2:56 left in period 2. And get back on level terms as this puck is centered for Murtha. It's down low. Murtha shooting, scoring! Hit that horn, baby. Let's dance. Just when the Raiders were on the ropes, Jimmy Murtha takes them off the ropes and restores the multi-goal lead with 1:22 to play. His own circle, Romer trying to clear, he can't. Good move here by Martin. Martin to the cage, he shoots, oh, it's on the goal line, and the Raiders bang it in! Honey, it's time to take out the trash. Jimmy Murtha pots a pair in the Pennsylvania Cup. Seneca Valley 5, Holy Ghost Prep 2. Hewitt unable to split the defense. Raiders persist. Hewitt on his backhand, down low. Morin in front. Morin! Burial! Thank you, sir. May I have another? Braden Morin makes it 6-2 Raiders with 12.5 to play.
Got to get a face-off win.
But the Raiders get the face-off win. They fire for the empty net, and they hit the empty net. Raiders 7, Firebirds 2, under 10 to go. It's a shorthanded empty net goal, and you can break out the chapeaus for Braden Morin, baby.
And it's a hockey night in Pittsburgh.
And I'll meet you in the schoolyard, baby, for all the marbles.
He was the leading regular season goal getter on the first state championship team in Seneca Valley history. He scored a hat trick in the Pennsylvania Cup game for the Seneca Valley Raiders to lead them to a 7-2 win over Holy Ghost Prep. They're getting crazy in Cranberry. The Raiders are state champs in hockey for the first time ever, and Braden Morin is with me. Braden, did you have a couple extra Wheaties this morning? Were you feeling any differently before this game? What do you think was the key to the hat trick?
I just felt like I've had a slump recently, so I had to come out, play my best, and the hat trick just came along with it. I just did my best, did what I thought I could for the team, and team played great as well, and that's what got us to win this game.
The scoring seemed to come by committee and sometimes at random for you guys, kind of like you said. It was a different contributor in all the different playoff games. How did you stay sharp mentally in those times when the pucks weren't going in as much as they were tonight?
We just had to battle through, especially when they put those two in on us, but the biggest goal was whenever Jimmy scored right before the end of the second period. That got us the momentum we needed to go into the third, and that's how we got a few quick ones to the start of the third and to finish this game off.
How challenging is it not just to compartmentalize the emotion of winning that game on Monday, literally the longest 3A final in league history to this point, and be like, hey, we've still got another game to go, and to play this high-stakes game against a team you've literally never seen before? How do you prepare for that?
We were tired of winning an OT, so we like get out, do our best, and just go kill this team, and that's what we did. We did just that.
What impressed you the most about the team effort today?
Everyone did their job, and we all worked our hardest, and that's how we got all the goals we did, because we played. This is one of our best games of the season, and it just happened to be at one of the most important games of the season.
You have achieved a proverbial grand slam in high school hockey, a St. Margaret Fall Face-Off Championship, a PA Scholastic Showcase Championship, a Penguins Cup Championship, a Pennsylvania Cup Championship. What makes this team so special, and why have they been winning so consistently this year?
We had 5 goals from the beginning of the year. Those 3 that you said were 3 of them. And we knew at the beginning that this group of guys could do whatever it took. And we just worked our tails off the entire year, and we got it done.
How does it feel personally to finally accomplish that 5th goal? Wink, wink.
Feels great. It feels great. It's what we've been working for all year. I can't ask for anything else.
Braden, congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The alternate captain is larger than life on the ice, and a big boy in person too, Jimmy Murtha, alternate captain of your state champion Seneca Valley Raiders. The Raiders get it done by a 7-2 score over mighty Holy Ghost Prep, one of the top private teams out in the East, the Flyers Cup champion. Jimmy, a couple of goals for you in the Pennsylvania Cup tonight. Just from a team perspective, part of the leadership group, from your perspective, what did you like most about what the team did tonight?
I just liked how we always worked. Even when they got those first 2 goals back on us, we came back, scored it again, and in the start of the third period, we knew they were going to come out strong, and we kept working hard.
If I may invoke a popular meme, did you take that personally when they got the 2 goals? Because you got the one that seemed to be the backbreaker in the long run.
Yeah, I think the whole team took it personally. We just wanted to go out and get it right back.
How challenging is it to compartmentalize all that emotion after winning that Marathon Penguins Cup game? You have to prepare for another game and against a team that you've never seen before, and there's a state title on the line. How do you get ready for a game like that?
It was hard, especially after going into 3 overtimes in Penn's Cup, but we just, first practice back, we got refocused and just had that killer attitude.
Tyler Masiska was a Seneca Valley player who came so close to winning a championship. You finally got him one as a coach. Now you got him a state title as a coach. What is it like playing for him, and what does that mean to you?
He's a great coach. Each game, he prepares us really well.
2 goals, as I said, for you tonight. Did you feel like you had at least one in you in this game? Were you feeling any different before this one?
Yeah, I definitely felt special. I'm a senior, so it's my last game, and I wanted to go out in a good way.
What can you say about the rest of the senior class and just what they've meant to the program?
I love those guys. Andrew Malitsky, I've been on the line with him all year. We work really well together. Everyone else, worked our butts off all year.
You've got some pretty good wheels out on the ice yourself. I've seen you move out there, and going to be doing some dancing here. You're still going to have some wheels, I'm sure. What does it mean to be a part of the first ever state championship team at the school?
It feels amazing. This is what we wanted from the start of the season, and we ended up getting it, which was great.
Jimmy Murtha, thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Matt Popchock here with the other alternate captain, Marshall Hewitt, who pumped in a few points for the Raiders tonight, got a goal of his own, a multi-point effort in the Pennsylvania Cup. The Raiders are going to be celebrating tonight their first ever Pennsylvania Cup title. They defeat Holy Ghost Prep, the Flyers Cup champs, by a 7-2 score here on the island. He was the hero of the longest game in 3A Penguins Cup final history, and you get to put on the proverbial cape again tonight and celebrate a state title. How does it feel?
Feels great. It's the best feeling ever. I mean, we've never been here before, so first time here, it's awesome.
Strange things seem to happen after dark. You have that 3 overtime game Monday where you get to score that winning goal, and you're playing a very game opponent here in Holy Ghost Prep. How tough was it to prepare for them coming off all the emotion and your own individual moment in that Penguins Cup game?
It was hard, but, I mean, our coach dealt with it pretty well. We watched a lot of film, picked out their key players, and we shut them down.
It's very in vogue for PIHL players of a previous era to come back and coach now. Tyler Masiska obviously coaching at his alma mater. What is it like playing for him? You know, relatively younger guy, played the game. What does playing for him mean to you?
It's great. I mean, he's awesome. He knows the game very well. He knows how to win, obviously. First year as a coach, he's great.
And it's got to feel great to win one for him. You know, he came so close as a player a couple of times way back when. You guys get the Penguins Cup, you get the Pennsylvania Cup. Back at the beginning of the year, you got St. Margaret Fall Face-Off. You got the PA Scholastic Showcase. Are you tired of winning yet?
You can never be tired of winning, but, I mean, I think we're all glad it's over. We're tired, but job's finished.
Why is this team special? Why have they won so consistently in all these competitions and just really throughout the year?
We're just a tight-knit group. We do everything together, team meals. We go out together, play games together. We're just a tight-knit group. I think that's why we succeeded.
At the risk of putting the cart before the horse, maybe you haven't thought this far ahead yet, and I don't blame you. What will you do with the Pennsylvania Cup if you ever get it one-on-one? How will you celebrate tonight?
I don't know, probably go out to dinner with it, maybe eat some food out of it, take it golfing, I don't know.
Oh, you're a golfer?
Yeah, I'm not very good, but I like the golf.
Hey, you don't have to be when you got the cup with you. Marshall Hewitt, again, the Raiders victorious in the Pennsylvania Cup final. Marshall, it's been a pleasure covering the team. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marshall. Matt Popchock back here with the man between the pipes, all-star Chris Nichols, a Penguins Cup champion goalie, now a state champion goalie, and part of the first ever Pennsylvania Cup championship team in Seneca Valley Raiders history. They defeat Holy Ghost Prep by a 7-2 final score to capture that historic state crown. Chris, I was told by my broadcast partner that in his experience, you're a man of few words. I don't mind that so much because you did a fine job doing all your talking out on the ice. Having said that, how did you prepare for this particular opponent?
We watched film on them this morning, and then we knew who their guys were, and we shut them down, and then
just went from there.
What impressed you the most about the way your team played in front of you today? Not just today, really, but just this whole playoffs.
We didn't come in the playoffs the best we wanted to with 2 losses, but after that, we locked it down and got 4 straight wins.
You individually had been red hot, and that really, it goes beyond playoffs. You had been playing statistically super well since the holiday break, really. You won, I think, 7 of your last 8 starts, including tonight, to end the season. Had you improved in any specific area or made an adjustment or done anything differently to start getting the results?
Just kept practicing hard, working hard, and being more focused so that whenever it comes to the games, it's just like practice.
The word family gets used a lot when describing a team. Would you describe this team that way?
Yeah, for sure. It's just a whole big family, and we play together and we play for each other.
St. Margaret Fall Face-Off champions, Scholastic Showcase champions, Penguins Cup champions, Pennsylvania Cup champions. You got the proverbial Grand Slam, Chris. Why does this team win so consistently? How do they do it?
When it matters most, we step up. We play our best and then just find a way to win, even in like 3 overtimes.
We won't forget that one, that's for sure. And you had a big night in that game, no doubt about it. And just on a personal level, what does it mean to be part of a state championship, something that's never been done at your school before?
It's cool being the first one to do it. Just exciting and one I'll always remember.
Chris Nichols, winning goaltender here at the PA Cup. Thank you so much, Chris. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Tyler Maxwell regrouping with Carter Hone. His overtime goal in the semifinals put Seneca Valley in the championship game of the PIHL. He was stood up neatly by Spadacino. Lead pass for Logue as it's put wide of goal. That caught the pipe, I think, and it might have caught a piece of Nichols. Gradually bring it back to center. Logue with room to maneuver, makes his move. Logue to the goal, makes his move on Nichols, but Nichols got that left to back to center. Chance possibly for Hewitt. Hewitt on goal, makes his move, can't shoot it cleanly. Kaufman with some serious hustle to get back. Yes. The Raiders outlet it near side for Ethan Riffey. Riffey above the left circle. Score! Give the governor harumph! Ethan Riffey blasted by Unger, and Seneca Valley takes the 1-0 lead with 9.5 left in period 1. Shot on Nichols again, and Nichols forces another face-off from the same spot. Self operating behind the cage now. Kennery at the side of the net. Nichols forces it out of play.
Another excellent breakout by the Firebirds.
Off the face-off, Chase Logue forcing the save. The rebound bounces eventually to Hewitt.
We have a penalty upcoming.
Bottom teams in PIHL 3A during the regular season. Morin scores! Oh, make me a milkshake, Morin! Seneca Valley makes it a 2-0 game on the Penny Power. Seneca Valley. They are your Pennsylvania Cup champs for 24-25 in Class 3A for the first time ever. A 7-2 win over mighty Holy Ghost Prep, the Flyers Cup champ, and a very tough opponent at that. I got to start there, Coach. I'll tip my hockey helmet to you and your staff for just being able to reel in the emotions of your players after that marathon game on Monday and prepare for one of those Eastern PA teams from the private school conference. Never easy teams to play against. That had to be very trying for you and your staff, yes?
Yeah, that's a heck of a team. That's a really good team. We knew that going into it. But after that game on Monday, we enjoyed it, and then we got right back at it. We knew we had one more, and this was the one we were really hunting for since the beginning of the year. We wanted to win that state title. So, yeah, happy for them for being able to focus and get ready for this one, and it feels really good for sure. So.
I got to imagine it feels great on a personal level as well. As a player, you had come painfully close to winning Penguins Cup titles 2 years in a row. This time you're on the happy side of the overtime results and on the happy side of the state championship. How does it feel to finally get those flowers after all this time?
It's great, but it's not about me right now. I'm so happy for this organization in Seneca Valley and just how hard these kids have worked and all the parents that put in the time and effort to get here. And my two assistant coaches, Sam and Parker, they've been, they deserve all the credit in the world. So it's a group effort. It takes everybody to get here, and yeah, just can't be more proud of everybody around us.
Parker, a former Raider as well from yesteryear, as we recall.
And Sam, both.
And Sam, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. They keep it in the family in Cranberry. What impressed you the most about your team on this particular night?
Just, we got up 3-0, and they get those two to get it back to 3-2. All the momentum went their way, and as we've said all year, it's just next shift. They're resilient, and that goal going into the end of the second period was huge, and that's just what these guys do all year round. In the Penguin Cup final, they tie it up late. These guys just stick with it. And then third period starts, we get a quick goal to start the third, and the floodgates kind of opened up from there. But man, just these guys just stick with it, and they don't ever get panic on the bench. They just are ready to go for the next shift. So it was awesome to see.
And that's the best feeling as a coach, I would imagine. Just, you always wonder in those spots, oh, what's this coach going to say now? You didn't have to say anything. They took charge.
No, I mean, it's a great team. Like, these guys know, it's 3-2, and, we knew we had to get the next one because they were starting to push a little bit. And like I said, that's a good team, and we knew it wasn't going to come easy. So definitely was good to go into the third with that 2-goal cushion.
We'll go back to the beginning of the year. St. Margaret Fall Face-Off champions, Scholastic Showcase champions over the holiday break, followed by the Penguins Cup championship, followed by the state championship, a proverbial grand slam for Seneca Valley hockey. I'm not sure if that's been done before. How does it feel to do it?
It's unbelievable, and credit to all the guys in the room because they put in the work, and yeah, our mentality is we want to win every time we step on the ice. So we're going to enjoy this, and hopefully this is a sign of things to come in the future as well.
We're going to be eating some pasta out of the Pennsylvania Cup at any point or anything along those lines?
Yeah, we'll be, whatever you can put in there, we'll eat it. Ice cream, pasta, whatever will go in there. So yeah, we'll enjoy it for sure.
Once again, let the celebration begin in northern suburbia. The Raiders are state champs. Head coach Tyler Masiska leading the way. Thank you, Coach, and congratulations again.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Well, regrouping with Carter Hone. His overtime goal in the semifinals puts Seneca Valley in the championship game of the PIHL. helping organize this Pennsylvania Cup event. A great day on the island and a historic day. The Borough Bucks made history. The Seneca Valley Raiders, another team that wears blue and white, no less, made history of their own.
Yeah, absolutely. And first things first, I want to thank Todd Kazarowski and you guys at TenbandTV. I was honored by being offered the play-by-play job on that inaugural game. I mean, if we're talking about big picture and things like that, I mean, first time ever, we're finally getting a little bit of respect on these open division teams and an opportunity for them to actually showcase what they can do on a bigger stage across the state. And it's huge whenever you look at what we're doing. And then you move along from that, and I'm just going to go back across. I'm just going to walk my way through it. The single A game, maybe that went to the East this year, but, it was a very solid thing. And I am going to say this on camera, and everybody at home can see this. Mr. Matt Popchock, I apologize for a season-and-a-half long riot on antelopes. I actually have been proven wrong, and you are officially now no longer in trouble every time you use the term antelope and antelopes. They are permissibly used interchangeably. Congratulations, sir, you won one over on me.
I'll ask Governor Shapiro to sign my stay of execution. Thank you,
Absolutely. Sir. And then you get into the AA game. Very, very, very intense game coming down to the wire. I was talking with Jeff Brazilla at in the end zone during that one, and he said it's always been a good opportunity to have a game that you don't know the winner until late in it. And that is something that rode with me. And then I'm waiting in between the scorer's box to get set up, and it's 4 minutes left. All of a sudden, it just starts to pile goals on, and it changes. And this is how the intensity of the games, these state games, can happen. Beautiful, great weekend for everybody here. And then the nightcap here, we will at least keep one of those championships on the west side here. Seneca Valley, great job, great crowd, intense crowd out there today. Great job by everybody involved. TenbandTV, thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. And you know me, I'm hard pressed. You know what I'm going to ask next. So go ahead and just ask me the question.
What should I ask, sir?
Girls League starts in about a month. Come and check it out. That's our next step in trying to get another state championship on the books. So the next step in evolution, we're going to continue to try to build that every year.
That's why I introduce them at parties. Yes. Larry, that was for you, buddy. That was for you, absolutely. The day began with D2, as Brian said, getting their flowers at long last, and a great job by the Bucks. They're going to Nationals next in California at the end of March. It continued with a first-time Eastern PA state winner winning 7-2. It ends with a first-time Western PA winner winning 7-2. What are the odds? Brian, yes, blue and white. There's some dark blue for you, some blue and white. Brian Mitchell, Matt Popchock with the black and red of TenbandTV, and that's all she wrote.
It's a hockey night in Pittsburgh.